Chapter 1600. Lin Xian had lunch with Dongfang Bai and Dongfang Bai. They didn't talk much at the dining table, and they only talked about the future and their daily lives. Uncle Dongfang, I heard that Earth might be in danger in the future? Lin Xian asked. That's right. Of course, it's just speculation, but this speculation is basically true. All the signs point to it being true, so you have to take advantage of this opportunity to improve your cultivation base. Don't wait until it's already here before you react. Otherwise, it'll be completely too late. Dongfang Bai said. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. All right, now that you've eaten, let's go. I'll take you to a place. Dongfang Bai stood up. Lin Xian followed Dongfang Bai and Xia Zhu, and they secretly left the Dongfang family and went to a place. It took them over an hour to arrive at that place. This place was filled with rich spiritual power of heaven and earth. At the same time, there were also powerful enchantments and illusions. It was clearly a place that they didn't want others to discover. Even the entrance was very secretive. An old man was sitting here. Father. Dongfang Bai bowed. The old man opened his eyes. Lin Xian looked at the old man with furrowed brows. Was he Dongfang Xue's grandfather? Yes, he had seen him once. Dongfang Tian stood up. Father, I've brought Lin Xian here. Lin Xian. Dongfang Tian looked at Lin Xian, and his pupils contracted. Isn't he dead? He's not dead, it's all fate. All right, let's go in. Quick, let's go in. Lin Xian followed Dongfang Bai and Xia Zhu in with a puzzled expression. Uncle Dongfang, what's the meaning of this? After walking in, they were greeted by a world of ice and snow. It was very cold, but it was also very beautiful. Xue is here. What? Lin Xian's brows furrowed. Dongfang Xue was here? What's going on? We're here. Dongfang Bai brought Lin Xian to a room. There, Lin Xian saw a young girl wearing a white dress, elegantly lying on an ice bed. Her hands were placed on her chest, motionless, surrounded by cold energy. Lin Xian's pupils suddenly shrank, and he quickly rushed over. This familiar face belonged to Dongfang Xue. She was still so beautiful, truly so beautiful. She was elegant and refined, with her own light aura and delicate skin. Upon seeing her, Lin Xian's body trembled with excitement. To be honest, Dongfang Xue's significance to Lin Xian was similar to Lin Ya's significance to him. However, they were not the same concept. Both of them were unique. But Lin Xian could sense that Dongfang Xue's aura was very weak. But why? Uncle Dongfang, what's going on? What's going on? How did she become like this? Lin Xian looked at Dongfang Bai. Sigh. Dongfang Bai sighed. Xia Zhu walked over and stroked her daughter's cold hand with reddened eyes. Dongfang Bai looked at Lin Xian and said, When Xue heard the news of your death, she left behind a suicide note and swallowed a poison pill, intending to die. Lin Xian shuddered. That idiot. Lin Xian turned to look at Dongfang Xue. Although we discovered it, we weren't able to save Xue's life in time. However, she just couldn't wake up. The entire martial arts world was unable to cure the poison in her body. In the end, in order to completely save Xue's life, we sent her here and used the spiritual power and cold energy here to stop the poison from spreading. Xue's current state is similar to that of a vegetable. I don't know what to do either. She's already been lying here for 3 years. Lin Xian clenched his fists. He didn't blame anyone. If he had to blame someone, he could only blame himself. He could only blame himself. How could he be so stupid? After this incident, your auntie and I finally realized that we were in the wrong. However, there's no point in regretting it. This incident was simply too embarrassing. Furthermore, we didn't want anyone to know about this, so we hid the fact that Xue had gone out to train. We also knew that as long as Xue didn't wake up, she would be exposed sooner or later. However, what was the point? Xian, if we could do it again, your uncle and I definitely wouldn't stop you. Xia Zhu looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian looked at Dongfang Shui. He really didn't expect that after not seeing her for so long, they would meet in such a state. Wait. Lin Xian suddenly realized something. Poison. She didn't become like this because of some other reason. It was because of poison. As long as it was poison, Lin Xian felt that he would be able to cure it. This was because the medical skills in his mind were extremely exaggerated. Uncle Dongfang, Auntie Xia Zhu, what kind of poison did Dongfang Shui ingest? Lin Xian hurriedly asked. An incurable poison, Yan Wang pill. From this pill, they could see Dongfang Shui's determination to die. Yan Wang pill. Lin Xian searched through his memories. It wasn't an incurable poison. The incurable poison was just that the people on Earth didn't know the cure for this poison pill. That was all. The cure for the Yan Wang pill, Lin Xian knew, but the recipe. Lin Xian produced a piece of paper and a pen, and then wrote down a few spirit items on it. Uncle Dongfang, do you think these ingredients can be found? Dongfang Bai glanced at it. It's a bit difficult, but it should be possible. However, this supreme nether glowing grass is a spirit item that existed a long time ago. It's probably impossible to find it now. Lin Xian, what are you doing? Lin Xian said, this is the recipe for the Yan Wang pill. What? Both of them were shocked to hear Lin Xian's words. Lin Xian, you're joking, right? Lin Xian, Uncle Dongfang, how could I joke about this kind of thing? I know the cure for the Yan Wang pill. This is the antidote. The two of them looked at each other. I can give it a try. The others shouldn't be a problem, but this supreme nether glowing grass is a bit difficult. I'll go to Kunlun Mountain, Wudong sect, and all the other sects to see if I can get it. Dongfang Bai tried his best to suppress the shock in his heart. I'll also think of a way to get the supreme nether glowing grass. Uncle Dongfang, please use all your power to find it. Don't worry about this. This is my daughter. Even if I die in exchange for her waking up, I'm willing. Dongfang Bai said. Lin Xian, are you sure this is true? Xia Zhu still felt a little incredulous. Lin Xian nodded. Don't worry, I'm sure. Good. Thank you so much. Dongfang Bai took a deep breath. I'll go contact someone now. Wife, come with me. Lin Xian, accompany Shui, Then the two of them walked out. Lin Xian looked at Dongfang Shui, then walked over, sat beside her, and put his hand on her hand. It was cold, but there seemed to be some warmth. Chapter 1601. Lin Xian looked at her. Silly girl, why are you so silly? Lin Xian caressed her cheek. I'm Lin Xian, I'm back. Dongfang Shui didn't respond. Lin Xian didn't know if she could hear him. Creation of laws. If Lin Xian's cultivation base was very high, he could even use the creation of laws to wake her up. However, Lin Xian's cultivation base was only at this level. I'm fine, I'm not dead, I'm doing very well. Don't worry, I'll definitely wake you up. It won't be long, I definitely will. We still have so many things to do, don't run away. Lin Xian held her hand. Let me tell you about the things that have happened to me over the years. There are many interesting things. Outside, Dongfang Bai had already left, leaving Xia Zhu behind to wait for Lin Xian. Lin Xian told Dongfang Shui many things. All right, silly girl, I'm going to go now. Sleep a little longer, I'll think of a way to bring you back now. Wait for me, it won't be long, wait for me. Lin Xian gently kissed her forehead and glanced at Dongfang Shui before leaving with Lin Xian. Auntie Xia Zhu, let's go back. Tell Uncle Dongfang to contact me if there's any news. I'll go and see if there's any way to find the exalted nether glowing grass. Little Xian, leave this to us, don't waste your energy. Lin Xian, one more person means more power. I don't want the end result to be bad. I also want to work hard and bring Shui back. Then, you have to be careful. Xiaozhu knew that there were some things, such as top-grade heaven and earth spiritual items, that even if they existed, the places where they existed would definitely be extremely dangerous. Lin Xian nodded. "Don't worry, Auntie. I know what I'm doing." "All right." After that, Lin Xian went back. Lin Xian knew what the supreme nether glowing grass was. It was a very rare and high-grade item. On Sky Blue Planet, it was easy to find, but here, on a continent where spiritual energy was thin, it was not easy to find. Because of the thin spiritual energy, it was even more impossible for rare spiritual items to be born. But after all, the Earth was once rich in heaven and earth spiritual energy. It might not have been able to breed in the recent 1 or 2,000 years, but it should have been able to breed the supreme nether glow grass a long time ago. Lin Xian felt that this was the key to finding the supreme nether glowing grass. If this was a continent that had never been at its peak, then it probably would not have been able to nurture an existence of this level. And Lin Xian felt that Dongfang Bai shouldn't be able to find it, nor should those sects. Of course, it would be best if there was, but Lin Xian had to prepare for the worst. He had to look for it. Fortunately, there was something in the system that could be exchanged for. It was called the Sky Amplification Card. What was the effect of the Sky Amplification Card? The effect was very simple. In fact, it was a divination. The supreme nether glow grass was not considered a divination, so Lin Xian felt that if he exchanged for this card and used it, he could directly deduce the location of the supreme nether glow grass. Lin Xian had not left yet. He did not know where he was. In a deserted suburb, Lin Xian sat in a small forest in the dark. Exchange. Sky Amplification Card. This Sky Amplification Card consumed a lot of system points, but it did not matter. As long as Lin Xian killed Shenyuan Qingtian, there would be a lot of system points. The most important thing now was Dongfang Shui. Begin. Divine the location of the supreme nether glow grass. Lin Xian closed his eyes. After a long time, Lin Xian opened his eyes. Emperor Xian's tomb? Lin Xian frowned. That's right, the information that the divination gave Lin Xian was Emperor Xian's tomb. Could it be a tomb? Lin Xian did not know, but it sounded like a tomb. Then, Lin Xian tried to Baidu. What the F***ck? Emperor Xian's tomb was rumored to be the burial place of King Zhou of Shang. King Zhou of Shang. King Zhou of Shang should have lived in an era when martial artists were at their peak. According to what they said, both King Zhou of Shang and Qin Shi Huang might not have died. Although Emperor Xian's tomb has been discovered, not many people have entered its depths. In other words, no one knows the situation inside Emperor Xian's tomb, and no one knows whether King Zhou of Shang is inside or not. It should be more complicated than Qin Shi Huang's tomb. After all, he was a tyrant. The situation inside the tomb should be even more exaggerated. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. But no matter what, I have to go. It's not difficult to find Emperor Xian's tomb. Uncle Dongfang and the others should know. However, Lin Xian did not know why they stopped halfway through the exploration of Emperor Xian's tomb. Was it too dangerous, or was there something wrong? Obviously, Lin Xian had to ask. Then, Lin Xian called Lu Qingzhu and asked her about it. Lin Xian did not ask Dongfang Bai and the others because they would remind Lin Xian and the like. Lin Xian did not want them to worry. Emperor Xian's tomb? I've been there before. Whoa. Little Qingzhu, you've been to everything. Lu Qingzhu said, after all, there aren't many opportunities and places to train. Emperor Xian's tomb is very big. Many people went in at that time, including experts from several top sections. However, the reason we returned in the end was not that we encountered any terrifying danger. It was just that we heard a voice coming from Emperor Xian's tomb. This voice said that if anyone dared to take another step into Emperor Xian's tomb, they would be killed without mercy. Lin Xian frowned. Lu Qingzhu continued, after all, that was Emperor Xian's tomb, and that voice appeared again. In the end, we decided to return the way we came. Some of the subsequent events made us feel that the voice might even be a powerful subordinate of King Zhou of Shang who had already awakened. I think so, Lin Xian said. Why are you asking this? Ha! It's nothing. I'm just asking. Definitely not. Are you going to Emperor Xian's tomb? Lu Qingzhu asked. Why would I go there? I'm going back to Jiangnan City to sleep with my dear little Qingya. Isn't that nice? Lu Qingzhu said, Qingya just sent me a message on WeChat saying that you said you wouldn't be going back for the time being. She asked me if I knew where you were going and what you were going to do. Lin Xian, F***CK. That's why I can't let the girls know each other. Ahem. Well, I'll hang up first. I'll accompany you, Lu Qingzhu said. Accompany my ass. I'm hanging up. Lin Xian then hung up the phone. Phew. Emperor Xian's tomb. I'll go there first. However, I'd better improve my realm again and see if I can refine some life-saving things. After all, it's Emperor Xian's tomb. As for improving his realm, Lin Xian could forcefully use the system to do so. This was also necessary. Chapter 1602. Although it was late now, it was a plane. As long as he had a ticket, he could leave in time. However, Lin Xian wanted to have more life-saving means before going to Xian's tomb. After all, his current realm was not high. Let's raise my realm to domain realm first. Lin Xian pondered for a moment, then used the system points to directly raise his realm to 1-star domain realm. This cost a lot of system points, but Lin Xian also knew that as long as he could complete those missions, there would be no problem at all. Of course, Lin Xian and Duan Lingxiao were two completely different people. Duan Lingxiao could be said to be particularly ruthless. He bet everything on killing Lin Xian. If he succeeded, he would live. If he failed, he would die. As for Lin Xian, he could not bet everything on one mission. In other words, even if Lin Xian could not complete Xianyuan Qingtian's mission, he still had room to maneuver to do other missions. He could still be fine. Lin Xian was more reliable in doing things. But in fact, in terms of ruthlessness, Lin Xian had never been afraid of anyone. It was just that Lin Xian had more ties. Here, in Sky Blue Planet. Which one of them was not Lin Xian's concern? Which one of them would not ask Lin Xian to let them live? He wanted to live. He did not want to die because he could not bear to die. I'll go in 2 days. I'll stay here for a while and refine some poison needles and necessary pills. Uncle Dongfang just so happens to be here. He should be able to provide me with the herbs I need. Then I'll go to the Dongfang family first. 2 days later. Lin Xian, you're going back? Dongfang Bai looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I'm going back. Uncle Dongfang, Auntie Xiaozhu, take care. Dongfang Bai nodded. Yes, I'll contact you as soon as there's news about the supreme nether glowing grass. Everything else is basically fine. Only the supreme nether glowing grass is left. Lin Xian nodded. Okay, then I'll go first. Okay, be careful. They thought that Lin Xian was going to Jiangnan City to go home. In fact, Lin Xian was going to Tiannan City. It was said that Xian's tomb was in Tiannan City. In any case, it had been confirmed. Furthermore, it should be the real Xian's tomb. The next day, Lin Xian arrived at Tiannan City. Xian's tomb is located in the Crouching Water Wasteland. This sleeping water wasteland was rather interesting. The origin of the name was from the satellite map. This wasteland had ups and downs, and there was a river in it. This river led directly to the sea. What was interesting was that from the satellite map, this river looked like a dragon. He didn't know if it was a coincidence or not, but there was no record of it. The location of Xian's tomb was nearby, so some people guessed that there must be a mechanism mainly for water in this tomb. This was inevitable, because the tombs of previous generations were by the lake and the sea. Xian's tomb was also next to a top-notch river that led to the sea. This was interesting. On the surface, it might look like a river, but because this river was connected to the sea, this river had infinite possibilities. In other words, it might look like a river on the surface, but after a special construction and method, it might turn into an unimaginable sea after entering Dxion's tomb. This was because there was a sea that poured seawater into Dxion's tomb. Anyway, normal people who were a little smarter understood this. Lin Xian walked directly to the crouching water wasteland. Of course, he didn't walk. He first took a taxi to the nearby area. It was a very desolate place, and it was also a forbidden place. It hadn't been developed, and there weren't many roads. A large part of it was mountain roads, so Lin Xian could only be sent to a place dozens of kilometers away. That didn't matter. It was only dozens of kilometers. Lin Xian was now a one-star domain realm. He had the spatial attribute, so this was a small matter. Swish swish swish. About half an hour later, Lin Xian arrived at the vicinity of Dxion's tomb. Why did he have to stop? Lin Xian wanted to see what was special about this place. There was indeed. Firstly, the surrounding spiritual energy of heaven and earth was relatively dense. Compared to other normal places, this was simply a treasure land. Secondly, there was a special aura that seemed to be there but not there. Lin Xian didn't know what this aura was, but his experience told him that it was released by a kind of power. Simply put, zombies had corpse qi, and monsters had demonic qi. Lin Xian didn't know what this was for the time being, but it might be a special kind of creature. This also meant that Dxion's tomb was indeed abnormal. If I had known, I would have brought someone with me. Lin Xian scratched his head. Why? This crouching water wasteland was so big. No matter how big a tomb was, how big could its entrance be? Lin Xian would probably explode when he found this entrance. He quickly gave Lu Qingzhu a call. Hey, little Qingzhu, about that, my friend asked me to ask. It's Dxion's tomb. Where's his entrance? Don't doubt it. My friend is an explorer. This Dxion's tomb is his lifelong pursuit. I'm just asking casually. I'll go home tomorrow. Lin Xian said. Lu Qingzhu was silent for a moment. Open a location on WeChat. Why would I open a location? Then, Lu Qingzhu hung up the phone. Then, she shared her location with Lin Xian. Lin Xian? What the F***CK? Lin Xian took a look. Lu Qingzhu was actually 7 or 8 kilometers away from him. What the F***CK? Little Qingzhu, what are you doing here? Lin Xian called Lu Qingzhu on WeChat. Come over first. Lin Xian touched his forehead helplessly. Damn. If he had known, he would have asked someone else. Lin Xian had nothing to worry about if he was alone. He still had the space attribute. However, if there were others, Lin Xian was worried that something would happen. Once something happened, Lin Xian would feel that it was because of him. Soon, Lin Xian arrived at Lu Qingzhu's location. F***CK? Lin Xian took a look and revealed a shocked expression. It wasn't just Lu Qingzhu. There were many others. At first glance, there were hundreds and thousands of people. Most of them seemed to be quite strong. Lin Xian didn't expect this. What was going on? Lu Qingzhu brought people here? Lu Qingzhu stood there and then saw Lin Xian walking over. She waved her hand and walked over. Little Qingzhu, what's going on? Lin Xian asked in confusion. It just so happens that the major forces are discussing this matter. They plan to make another trip to Dxion's tomb in order to explore the current situation on Earth. This time, they came completely prepared. I just happened to meet you, so I came along. Lu Qingzhu said. Chapter 1603. Lin Xian felt that it was a little too amazing. Was his luck really that good? He was originally alone. Now that there were thousands of people, of course, Lin Xian felt comfortable. But, sister, what are you doing here? You don't have to come. Lin Xian looked at Lu Qingzhu helplessly and said. I told you, there are very few opportunities to gain experience. This is a rare opportunity to gain experience. Moreover, I was one of the warriors who came to explore last time. Why can't I come? But you... Didn't you say you were friends? Didn't you say you would go back tomorrow? What are you doing here? Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. Lin Xian shrugged helplessly and said, Okay, I won't argue with you. What's the situation now? Lu Qingzhu said, Kunlun Mountain, Wudong Sect, Mount A, and all the other forces have sent experts to investigate this matter. Didn't they say they failed before? Why are they here again? Lin Xian asked. I told you because we want to completely understand the current situation on Earth, and this tomb is obviously the best place to tell us the answer. Although it may be very dangerous, with so many people here, we have to figure out these things. Only by figuring out these things can we make more correct countermeasures. Lu Qingzhu said. What about those people? Lin Xian saw many young people. They are here to gain experience, or rather, many of them are here for treasures. Oh. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. After all, this is the tomb of King Zhou of Shang. Whether he is dead or not, when he has to enter here to die or sleep, he will definitely bury all his treasures, spiritual weapons, and so on in the tomb with him. At that time, with the status of King Zhou of Shang, the treasures must be extremely exaggerated and powerful. Therefore, although this place is dangerous, it may also be an opportunity for some warriors. The treasures inside may be even stronger than the powerful spiritual weapons like Kunlun Mountain. Lin Xian said, in a word, they are greedy. I don't think so. This should be a very normal situation, right? As for greed, I can only say that I'll see how far I can go after I enter. Lu Qingzhu said. It's a good thing. With so many people with me, at least it won't be that dangerous. Lin Xian shrugged. So, why did you come here for no reason? Lu Qingzhu was really strange. Furthermore, Lin Xian didn't come across him by accident. He had locked onto this place with a clear goal in mind. This was very strange. I'm also here to look for something. Sigh, you don't understand. Lu Qingzhu rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Then let's go take a look first. Yes. Then, the two of them walked over. Brother Lin. A figure spotted Lin Xian. Ha, Master Wuxin, I didn't expect to see you here. Lin Xian smiled and patted him on the back. Amit Ba. I'm really happy to see Brother Lin here. Master Wuxin put his palms together and said with a smile. Master Wuxin, what are you doing here? Amit Ba, for the sake of all living beings in the world, it's best to come over. Moreover, this poor monk has the power of spatial attributes and can also be a member of the escort team. Is Brother Lin the same? Lin Xian laughed and said, That's not it. I'm not as magnanimous as Master Wuxin. It's purely for myself. Amit Ba, it doesn't matter. It's just that it's said to be extremely dangerous inside. We still need to cooperate and help each other. Master Wuxin said. Lin Xian nodded. That's not a problem, but I'm afraid that some people won't want to cooperate with him. Ha, understood. Master Wuxin naturally understood what Lin Xian meant. A person's heart was the most difficult thing in the world to understand. After entering, not only did they have to guard against the dangers inside, but they also had to guard against the people around them. Then, we can be very good partners. Master Wuxin smiled. Of course, ha. Lin Xian nodded with a smile. Amit Ba. On the other side, many people also saw Lin Xian's arrival. This Lin Xian is here too. Duan Lingxiao's eyes narrowed. Duan Lingxiao did not intend to come here. What was the point? He used all his skills to kill Lin Xian. Wouldn't that be better than anything else? However, he had also heard some rumors about this earth. He knew that the person buried in this tomb was a powerhouse who was similar to a sealing existence. He felt that he might not be any weaker than the powerhouses on Sky Blue Planet. The treasures here might not be any worse than the top-grade spiritual weapons on Sky Blue Planet. If he could obtain them, the benefits would be unimaginable. Moreover, if he brought them back to Sky Blue Planet, it would be a spiritual weapon that those people could not understand or recognize. It would definitely be a trump card. Moreover, he now had the spatial attribute and had advanced to the domain realm. He did not believe that nothing would happen if he wasted a day or two, right? There were so many people here. If he really could not handle it, he could just slip away. Until he saw Lin Xian. Lin Xian was here too. According to his thoughts, since Lin Xian was also here, he might kill Lin Xian here. Secondly, even if he could not kill Lin Xian, since Lin Xian was here, it meant that there was indeed something good here. Originally, after returning, he was prepared to kill Lin Xian. Then, he heard Shenyuan Qingtian's call. It seemed that he wanted to kill Lin Xian as well. He felt that it was strange. Was it because Morongyu was taken away by Lin Xian that Shenyuan Qingtian was furious? It could be. Then he would be happy. However, in the past few days, they realized that they had completely lost track of Lin Xian. They did not expect him to appear here. Then, Duan Lingxiao quickly called Shenyuan Qingtian and told him about the situation. What? Lin Xian went to Xian's tomb? Duan Lingxiao nodded. Yes, he's not far from me. I'm here to try my luck and see if I can find any treasures. Big brother Shenyuan, are you coming? Shenyuan Qingtian said, I won't be coming. Unfortunately, it's not suitable to fight in Xian's tomb. Firstly, no one knew the terrain of Xian's tomb. Secondly, there were many experts accompanying them. Who knew if there would be a chance to make a move? It was better not to alert the enemy. Normally, Shenyuan Qingtian would come, but that was Xian's tomb. Although so many experts had come, Shenyuan Qingtian was cautious by nature. Everyone knew that there was a high risk of death in such a place, so he definitely would not come. Keep an eye on him, Shenyuan Qingtian said. Yes, I understand. Chapter 1604. At this moment, Lin Xian and Lu Qingzhu stood behind the crowd and looked at the situation in front of them. There were really a lot of people. After all, Xian's tomb was rather special. Moreover, the experts who entered this time represented the entire martial arts world, the entire Earth, and even the survival of Earth. They might even only have one chance. Therefore, the number of experts who came this time was much more than they had imagined. The Dongfang family, the Shenyuan family, Kunlun Mountain, the Wudong sect, the Shaolin Temple, and even some old fellows who had not appeared for decades had come. What's the situation now? Why aren't we going in? Lin Xian asked. Master Wu Xin said, Amitabha. There seems to be some problems. Previously, some seniors had already entered, but now, when we rushed over, we found that the entrance that was originally open was closed. We don't know if it was closed by itself or because of someone inside. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. There's such a thing? Yes, so now those seniors are trying to see what's going on. This way, they will feel a little more at ease when they enter. Lu Qingzhu said. Lin Xian nodded and then opened his eye of cave spirit. What a guy! He wouldn't have noticed it if he hadn't opened it. Once he opened it, the scene before him was a little exaggerated. What was going on? It was quite an exaggerated scene. The surroundings were surrounded by an exaggerated amount of heaven and earth spirit energy. The heaven and earth spirit energy was indeed coming from this entrance, and the entrance seemed to be underground. Moreover, the heaven and earth spirit energy was not simple. It was mixed with a special aura. Because of this eye of cave spirit, Lin Xian felt that he should have the greatest advantage in this Emperor Xian's tomb. In any case, Lin Xian was sure that there was supreme nether glowing grass here. If he could reach that place alive, he should be able to obtain it. From the looks of it, there were so many top experts here, and even those old monsters who had existed for a long time. Therefore, Lin Xian felt that if he was a little selfish, he should at least be able to obtain the supreme nether glowing grass. However, Lin Xian could not be selfish. What would Earth be like in the future? The situation seemed to be very dangerous. Lin Xian would not be able to stay on Earth for the time being. This meant that Lin Xian would not be able to protect those he loved on Earth. When the time came, Earth would have to rely on these people. Moreover, at the very least, what they had shown so far was not that they had entered DXIN's tomb for personal gain. They were there to explore DXIN's tomb and protect the people of the world and Earth. Therefore, Lin Xian would definitely do his best to protect these people. Of course, there were exceptions. Everyone. At this time, an expert shouted, and everyone's eyes turned to look. Now that the entrance to DXIN's tomb has been reopened, after entering DXIN's tomb, everyone will advance together according to your sex, families, and forces. The top experts of Shaolin Temple and some of our warriors will lead the charge and bring up the rear for you. Everything in DXIN's tomb is unknown, but it is obviously extremely dangerous. I hope that we can protect ourselves and everyone. After entering DXIN's tomb, I hope that everyone will listen to orders and not act blindly. Everyone will act together. Kuan Lunzi nodded and said, "That's right. This time, we are not going to chase each other for treasures. Our priority is to protect ourselves and others. Therefore, we will not move in batches for the sake of progress. No matter what, under normal circumstances, we will move together. This way, we can effectively protect everyone's safety. I also hope that everyone will cooperate with us. No one knows the danger inside, but it is unimaginable. Alright, now, please get ready. We are ready to enter DXIN's tomb." Everyone gathered there. How do we do it? Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian. For some reason, she relied on Lin Xian. Although this person was not old, he made her feel safe. What else can we do? Let's follow them. Lin Xian said. Okay. Then, Lin Xian and the others entered DXIN's tomb together as the members of the middle section. The front was undoubtedly the most dangerous, so they had to let the experts of Shaolin Temple be at the front. This was because they had the golden bell shield and iron skin shirt. If they encountered extreme danger, they would be the safest. Of course, this was relative to the others. After entering DXIN's tomb, Lin Xian opened his eye of cave spirit the entire time. In fact, Lin Xian could already tell that it was not ordinary from the place he entered. Where? Space. F*CK. Other people's tombs had tunnels. Although DXIN's tomb also had tunnels, wasn't this tunnel a little too big? Thousands of them entered the tomb and walked forward together. They did not even feel crowded. It was too exaggerated. Therefore, Lin Xian also dared to guess. Why did they have to make such a big fuss? Was it just because they had so much money? No. Lin Xian did not think that was the case. Perhaps it was because there were too many people who had entered DXIN's tomb. It could be on the scale of hundreds of thousands or millions. Then, the tunnels that were built were also very huge. This was Lin Xian's guess. Perhaps many people had the same guess. Because of this guess, everyone felt even more uneasy. However, Lin Xian and the others did not notice anything amiss. Lin Xian did not notice anything either. However, under Lin Xian's eye of cave spirit, he could see that, the deeper they went, the denser the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. This was not a secret. He believed that these experts could sense it as well. Then, they arrived at a huge space. This space did not seem to be anything special. Everyone, stop for a moment. Everyone stopped in this space. At present, they had not encountered anything. Monsters, demon beasts, humans, zombies, or anything else. In any case, there was nothing abnormal. If they had to say something, it would be that they had encountered corpse puppets. Perhaps corpse puppets were very terrifying to ordinary people, especially groups of corpse puppets. However, to martial artists like them, no matter how many there were, they could burn them all with a casual martial technique. Previously, we came to this place and couldn't find the way anymore. This time, it's still here. That's right. Previously, we were also here. That voice came from the void. This also tells us that there's actually a path after this. As for how to find this path, we might need to work hard this time. It shouldn't be a problem. Last time, we were afraid of that voice and didn't look for it properly. This time, we'll look for it properly. Chapter 1605. Just as everyone was preparing to search, a voice came from all directions. They didn't know which direction it came from, but they felt that it was coming from all directions. Get out. Otherwise, die. Everyone looked in all directions. Those who had experienced this last time might not have been so flustered, but those who had not experienced it before were truly afraid. Lin Xian frowned and scanned his surroundings. Get out. Anyone who takes another step forward will be killed without mercy. That voice came. At first, Lin Xian thought that it might be a recording, but later on, he realized that it didn't seem like it. This voice was mixed with a tone. Of course, a recording could also have a tone, but Lin Xian felt that it didn't seem like it. Of course, this was only Lin Xian's intuition. However, there was a repeat of a sentence, and after that, the voice completely disappeared. Lin Xian felt that it was similar to a recording. It's the same again. Everyone, do you remember what this voice said the last time we came in? Was it the same as now? If so, it means that the source of this voice might be a spiritual artifact similar to a recording. This voice is just something used to deter us. An expert said, I feel like it's really like a recording. If I remember correctly, it was like this last time. Well, that's just deliberately mystifying. However, everyone, don't let your guard down. This also means that there is indeed something inside. Everyone, can you find any traces of mechanisms? Lin Xian opened his eye of cave spirit and took a look. There were mechanisms, but they did not encounter any other mechanisms along the way. Those that they encountered were of little use to martial artists like them. Lin Xian did not see any hidden doors, so Lin Xian was sure that this was the only way out. Therefore, as long as there was a way out, there must be a mechanism here. As expected, the mechanism was not in their line of sight. Instead, it was on a wall high up in the sky. This also meant that the person who built DXion's tomb, or rather, the owner of DXion's tomb, did not want anyone to discover this place. That was the problem. Since he did not want to be discovered, why did he create such a huge tomb? From Lin Xian's point of view, there were two reasons. Or rather, Lin Xian knew of two reasons. First, if the place was big, then there must be a big use for it. For example, garrisoning troops. Secondly, the place was huge. He could use all sorts of favorable conditions or structures to turn the entire DXion's tomb into something like an array formation. He could achieve a certain goal. As long as the owner of DXion's tomb was here, it would definitely have a miraculous effect on him. For example, spirit gathering. No matter what, even if you're in a deep sleep, the thicker the heaven and earth spiritual energy around you, the better the effects will be for you in all aspects. However, Lin Xian wasn't sure if there would be any danger if he opened the door to this place. Did you find it? Nope. Many people even touched every place. They touched everything in this space, but they didn't find a place with a hidden mechanism. Moreover, many of the talisman's effects are useless. I've checked the area and found that there are no traps. Impossible. How can this be? This is definitely the entrance that we just came in from. It can't be gone just like that. Could it be that there are other passageways on our way here? At this moment, Lin Xian said, Everyone, you seem to have forgotten to check the higher places. Many people looked at Lin Xian. What this little brother said makes sense. That's right. How could we forget about this? As the entire space, not only the ground and walls, but the walls above are also part of this space. We've already sealed ourselves. Why can't the traps be above us? Why must they be above the walls and the ground at the same height? Thank you, little brother, for your reminder. Lin Xian. There were also many who recognized Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, I'm just saying what I think. If you can't find it, don't blame me for wasting your time and energy. Of course not. Everyone, focus on checking the walls above. Be careful. Okay. Then, many people spread out in the space. Lu Qingzhu stayed by Lin Xian's side the whole time. Did you find anything? Lu Qingzhu asked. Lin Xian glanced at her. Sister, do you think I'm a god? So many strong people didn't find anything. What can a young man in his 20s like me find? I just feel that your eyes are different from others. Lu Qingzhu muttered in a low voice. Maybe it was just her imagination, but she felt that it was really different. Others' eyes were full of confusion, but Lin Xian's eyes seemed to be firm and clear. Of course, she couldn't be sure of the accuracy of many things. It was just a feeling. Lin Xian was shocked. F***ck. This woman's intuition was really amazing. Damn, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm going to send a message to my baby. Lin Xian took out his phone. Then, there was no signal. Seniors, I found it. There's a trap here. Suddenly, someone shouted. Then, he pointed at a place and jumped down from the wall. Everyone gathered at that location. Dozens of top-notch experts stepped on the void and flew up, standing there. Everyone, retreat first. We don't know if there's any danger after this trap is triggered. Everyone, activate your spiritual power and be ready to defend at any time. Kuan Lunzi said. Yes. Lin Xian and the rest also retreated to the back. Activate. When the trap was activated, a huge door opened at the top. It didn't seem to be anything special. Everyone waited for a while. There really didn't seem to be any danger. We'll go in first. Everyone, follow. Be quick, in case there's any accident. Those experts said and rushed in. The rest of the people followed suit. This height was about 20 meters. For martial artists like them, they couldn't fly, but they could easily climb. It was a forbidden area. In a short time, everyone left this space and arrived at a new place. This? The scene in front of them made everyone's mouth open, revealing a shocked expression. Why? They thought it would be a dark scene similar to the scene in an ancient tomb. But in front of them, it felt like a green forest. Beside them, there were trees and flowers. It was just a little damp. There was a bit of light. It wasn't dark, but it was very strange. The more it was like this, the stranger it was. Chapter 1606. Lin Xian was not the only one who felt that way. Everyone else who came in felt that it was very strange. What's going on? How did we enter a place like this? Yeah, I feel like it's possible if we entered a place full of water. After all, we're surrounded by water, a huge river. But this place is full of flowers and trees. Isn't it a little strange? Anyway, everyone, be careful. Although there are flowers and trees here, there must be a reason for their existence. Be careful of illusions. It's very likely that there will be illusions. Everyone, follow closely. It's very likely that there will be some changes in the environment. Be careful not to lose track. This place is definitely not simple. The experts reminded one after another. Lin Xian frowned as he looked around. Then he said, "There's poison." What? Hearing Lin Xian's words, those people were shocked. But after thinking about it, it was reasonable. It was very reasonable that there was poison in this place. Many poisons needed to be released by poisonous creatures of the world. Poisonous creatures of the world were usually flowers and plants. It made sense that there were so many flowers and plants here. Moreover, in the eyes of these people, Lin Xian was not an ordinary person. His performance at the Martial Arts Circle Convention was very shocking. Many of the experts here knew Lin Xian. Therefore, they would definitely take Lin Xian's words to heart. What kind of poison is it? Kuan Lunzi stopped and looked at Lin Xian. There were some flowers and plants here that they did not recognize at all. They could recognize some of them, but they did see many poisonous things. There are a lot of plants here. Even the most ordinary grass is poisonous. Lin Xian said. Is that so? They frowned. That's right. These flowers and plants are not poisonous. But because the air here is full of poisonous gas, these ordinary flowers and plants have been infected with the poison for a long time. As for the strength of the poison, Lin Xian sensed it for a while. It's not too strong. But I personally think that there might be stronger poisons in the depths. This is only the edge. Many people looked at Lin Xian. What? Are you saying that there's poison in the air? Why don't we feel like we've inhaled the poison? Someone asked. I'm more sensitive about this. You can choose to believe me or not. Lin Xian said indifferently. Of course, they chose to believe it. Even if they didn't believe it, they would still consider the worst-case scenario. In such a place, there was no harm in being vigilant. That's right. These flowers and plants are indeed all infected with poison. Even the most ordinary weeds are poisonous. An expert plucked a blade of grass and sensed it. Well, the toxicity is indeed not high, but once we are poisoned, it will have a great impact on us. Moreover, if the air is poisonous, our bodies will be slowly eroded by the poison until it is irreversible. Little brother, since you are very knowledgeable in this aspect, what do you think? They looked at Lin Xian. Duan Ling Xiao clenched his fists. Why was this Lin Xian always the center of attention? Lin Xian said, the toxicity is not strong at the moment. Ordinary antidote pills should not be a problem. What I'm worried about is what will happen later. Well, everyone, take the antidote pills first. The antidote pills were a necessity for any sect, force, and martial artist. Martial artists were really afraid of being poisoned. It might not be life-threatening, but once poisoned, it would greatly weaken one's combat strength. If they were chased by experts, the consequences would be unimaginable. Everyone knew that in such a sealed place, or rather, a partially sealed place, poison was definitely the usual method. Therefore, the antidote pills were a necessity when they came here. Everyone, be careful not to touch these flowers and plants. Also, be careful not to be scratched by the flowers and plants. If you have other long-sleeve shirts, outerwear, and trousers, wear them as well. Make sure to take precautions. Yes. Then, they looked into the distance and said, according to this situation, the deeper we go, the stronger the toxicity should be. Lin Xian nodded. I'm even worried that there will be poisonous demonic beasts because this place is very suitable for those demonic beasts to grow. Moreover, I'm afraid that their cultivation level will not be too low. If they exist, the poison of those demonic beasts will be fatal. Most of them can't be detoxified by ordinary antidote pills. That's right. This little brother's worries are correct, so we have to be more careful. If you've taken the antidote pills, then we'll continue to move forward according to the previous plan. Be careful. Yes. Lin Xian and Lu Qingzhu followed in the middle. Great Master Wuxin walked over and said, Amitabha, Brother Lin has also studied medical skills? Lin Xian smiled and said, I've done some research. It seems that this poor monk has also reached a very high level. Otherwise, how could Brother Lin have discovered this before these experts? Maybe I have a pair of kind eyes that can discover details. Lin Xian said with a smile. They continued to move forward. Lin Xian also opened his eye of cave spirit and looked around for clues at all times. The plants here are so big. Lu Qingzhu frowned as she looked around. At the beginning, the place where they entered was still considered normal. Now that they had gone for about half an hour, they did not discover anything. However, the plants around them had changed a lot. An ordinary tree was probably twice as big now. An ordinary blade of grass was now as tall as a person. This caused them to have to come into contact with these plants at all times. It also caused them to basically destroy all the plants in front of them as they moved forward. Lin Xian said, It's so big. It's probably because the spiritual power of heaven and earth here is more vigorous, or perhaps because of the poisonous power of heaven and earth. Just like in the past on earth, a mosquito might be bigger than a person. This situation is more like that. Wow! Look over there. What kind of flower is that? Why is it so big? Someone looked ahead and said, Lin Xian also looked over. What the F***ck? The environment in front of them had changed greatly. They seemed to have come to some kind of garden. There were all kinds of huge flowers here. This kind of flower had an incomparably long root that was similar to the neck of a giraffe. It was probably more than 10 meters tall. A huge pink flower grew on it and hung there. Perhaps because the root was too long and the flower was too heavy, some even hung down to a height of only a few meters from the ground. The surroundings were filled with this kind of flower, but it was still quite beautiful. Everyone stop. Chapter 1607. The experts in front felt that something was amiss. Such a change in the environment, especially in such a place, was very abnormal. It's so beautiful. A girl reached out to touch a huge flower beside her. Don't touch it. Don't forget that everything here is poisonous. A combatant hurriedly grabbed her hand. Only then did the girl realize it and hurriedly took a step back. Lin Xian frowned and opened his eye of spiritual insight again. Then, Lin Xian's pupils suddenly shrank. Not good. Retreat. Lin Xian shouted. However, at this moment, a blood-curdling scream came from the front, and a huge flower suddenly moved. It looked quite beautiful, but it suddenly opened its bloody mouth with saliva, and swallowed that person in one gulp. Everyone's pupils shrank. Man-eating flower. It's a man-eating flower. Retreat first. All of you, retreat first. Whoosh. Kuan Lunzi swung the horsetail whisk in his hand. It grew bigger and longer, binding the man-eating flower. Then, the flames burned along the horsetail whisk. However, it was useless. What? This man-eating flower is not afraid of fire? He revealed a shocked expression. Let me do it. A middle-aged man leaped forward, holding a sword in his hand. He slashed out with a powerful force and slashed at the man-eating flower's neck. Bang! What was shocking was that the slash produced a sound similar to metal colliding. Coupled with his powerful heavenly venerable realm cultivation, he only cut off a layer of skin from the root. Although he might not have used his full strength, it was enough to show how terrifying the man-eating flowers were. They were also immune to fire. Arg die. The expert's strength erupted and directly cut the man-eating flower in half. At the same time, he saved the people inside. Everyone retreated. The surroundings seemed to have quietened down. The man-eating flowers could not move. What the hell is this? Is this a plant-type fey beast? Do plant-type fey beasts really exist in this world? No, it should be a simple plant. If this plant was a fey beast, how many tens of thousands of years of cultivation would it have? It's just that it might be a special man-eating flower. But isn't this man-eating flower too strong? It might not have any offensive capabilities, but it was actually immune to fire. Furthermore, it was the fire of Senior Kuan Lunzi, and its body was as tough as iron. Then we're done for. If we're like this, how can we pass? It's still okay to pass. I'm immune to fire, but I don't believe that I can be immune to a lot of power. Let's just gather our power from afar and destroy them. Then, thousands of experts gathered their power. But then, something unexpected happened. Those man-eating flowers opened their bloody mouths and sprayed out something similar to pollen. When so many man-eating flowers were released at the same time, it instantly spread out. Retreat. All retreat. Stop releasing. Kuan Lunzi shouted. Obviously, this thing was poisonous. Moreover, this man-eating flower didn't look simple. Perhaps its toxicity was very strong. Everyone then retreated one after another. After retreating to a certain distance, they let out a long sigh of relief. Senior Kuan Lunzi, seniors, what should we do now? It's probably useless for us to take a detour. If we don't pass through there, we won't be able to move forward. Amit Ba. It's obvious that the owner of this place, the founder of DXIN's tomb, wants to use this thing to stop people who might pass through later. From the looks of it, we have to rush over even more. Then what should we do? Step on the void. It was originally feasible, but it shouldn't be possible now. There's poison over there, and the air is also poisonous. It won't work. Wait, is the spatial attribute useful? Lin Xian said, space might not be useful. Firstly, we don't know the distance. Secondly, we don't know what's behind those man-eating flowers. Furthermore, I'm afraid that the person who founded this place can also think of what we can think of. There are very few spatial attribute warriors in our era, but they definitely weren't too rare back then. They must have considered it. That makes sense. Don't look at spatial attribute warriors. It's too dangerous. Let's take advantage of this opportunity to have a good rest. Everyone, let's discuss our next move. Originally, these man-eating flowers were really nothing. What was difficult for them was not the poison. It was the number of these man-eating flowers, and more importantly, the defensive strength of these man-eating flowers. It was too exaggerated. An all-out attack from a heavenly venerable could only destroy one. Therefore, don't even think about having so many experts forcefully destroy all the man-eating flowers. Why don't I give it a try? Lin Xian said. Fire would always be the nemesis of plants. These man-eating flowers should not be truly immune to Kuan Lunzi's flames. It was just that his flames had not reached a certain level, so the effect was negligible, even if his realm was very high. You, little brother Lin, don't be arrogant. Lin Xian said, it's fine. I'm just giving it a try. My flames are quite special. What if it works? This fire is definitely the nemesis of plants. I don't believe that there are any plants that are immune to fire. Alright. Since little brother Lin has said so, we have no other choice. Everyone, escort little brother Lin forward. Alright. Then, more than a dozen heavenly venerables escorted Lin Xian forward. Lu Qingzhu frowned and looked at Lin Xian worriedly. F***CK. Show off. I want to see if you can come out alive this time. Duan Lingxiao clenched his fists tightly. Little brother Lin, this position is about the edge of the circle. Is this distance okay? A Wudong sect expert asked. Lin Xian nodded. It's about time. Amit Ba. Little brother Lin, if it's not possible, don't force it. An eminent monk of the Shaolin Temple said. Lin Xian nodded. Then, a powerful black and red flame burned on his body. Dark flame. It came from Huang Shi's flame. This was definitely a very strong existence. At the same time, the dark flame had the ability to ignore defense. Therefore, Lin Xian believed that this ability should be able to cripple the man-eating flower's powerful physique, right? At the same time, it was a powerful and special flame. Domain realm. Feeling Lin Xian's aura, everyone was shocked. This? Wasn't he only a 2-star law realm a few days ago? How did he suddenly reach the domain realm? Could it be that he was in the domain realm from the beginning? It can't be that he directly advanced in just a few days, right? Everyone was shocked. Chapter 1608. To Lin Xian, it didn't really matter whether his cultivation base was exposed or not. From the looks of it, the others really didn't have the ability to solve this problem, so only Lin Xian could do it. Lin Xian only had to worry about exposing his strength so that people like Duan Lingxiao would have an idea of his strength. However, Lin Xian felt that his cultivation base was already at the domain realm. Coupled with his attributes, combat strength, system, and other aspects, he really wasn't weak, so he didn't need to worry too much. Right now, Dongfeng Shui was the most important thing. For Dongfeng Shui, Lin Xian was willing to expose these things. There was no point in keeping them. Whoosh! Black flames surged forward. Everyone looked at this scene in shock. To be honest, this was a little exaggerated, really exaggerated. These black flames are so powerful. What kind of flames are they? Yeah, they're so powerful. These black flames actually burned all those man-eating flowers to ashes? What? He's clearly only at the domain realm, so why are his flames even more powerful than Senior Kuan Lunzi's? Even Senior Kuan Lunzi's flames didn't have such a great effect, so how can a mere domain realm cultivator's flames have such an astonishing effect? That can only mean that Lin Xian's flames are extraordinary. How strange, where did he get them? His lightning is also extraordinary, black lightning. His flames are also extraordinary, black flames, and they're both so powerful. No wonder Lin Xian's combat strength is so strong. There's a reason for this. No wonder he was able to defeat Grandmaster Wu Xin at the Law Realm. But, is it really the same Grandmaster Wu Xin who defeated him at the Law Realm? I have a feeling that Lin Xian was also at the Domain Realm back then. There's no way he could have gone from 2 stars of the Law Realm to 1 star of the Domain Realm in just a few days, right? That's impossible. Duan Lingxiao knew that Lin Xian must have reached the Domain Realm because he'd exchanged for a cultivation base upgrade from the system. What did that mean? It meant that Lin Xian cared a lot about something in this tomb. Lin Xian shouldn't have appeared here, but he did. Either he had triggered a mission here, or there was something he needed here. This was inevitable. However, because he had come to DXIN's tomb, he did not hesitate to spend a large amount of system points to raise his realm and reach the Domain Realm. This proved that the things here were very, very important to him. Therefore, this was a good opportunity. But why did Lin Xian come here? He really didn't understand. However, he thought that as long as he followed Lin Xian, he should be able to find out. When Duan Lingxiao saw that Lin Xian had already reached stage 1 of the Domain Realm, he was glad that he had spent all his remaining system points to upgrade himself to the Domain Realm. However, no one knew that he had reached the Domain Realm. This was because the quest he had triggered was to kill Lin Xian. As long as Lin Xian was dead, he would obtain a lot of system points. Not only would he be able to return to the city, but he would also obtain enough system points to exchange for other items. In any case, he had placed all his hopes on killing Lin Xian from the beginning, so it was normal that he did not leave any system points. However, in his opinion, it was abnormal for Lin Xian to do so. The powerhouses were also shocked. This Lin Xian is indeed a genius. Based on his performance so far, I'm afraid no one in the same generation in the world can catch up to him. Moreover, his experience seems to have crushed all the other geniuses. This kid is definitely not simple. This is really shocking. Yes, I never thought that we would have to rely on a junior to advance here. To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The flames gradually dissipated, and the huge group of man-eating flowers disappeared. Hiss. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This was a little too terrifying. Whoosh. Then, they were in an uproar. This was really a little too strong. What was the main reason? The main reason was that there was a comparison. Kuan Lunzi was basically one of the top existences in the martial arts world, but such an existence actually couldn't compare to a junior in terms of flames. This was too exaggerated. Lin Xian took a deep breath. There should be no problem, but I suggest that we wait for a while. After the flames burn out, there should be a stronger poison in the air. Lin Xian said. You're right. Everyone, rest a little more. We'll set off in a while. Yes. Time passed slowly, and Lu Qingzhu came to Lin Xian's side. When did you advance to the Domain Realm? Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian in shock. Lin Xian said, Oh. I came across a fortuitous encounter in the past 2 days, and my cultivation base increased by so much. What else could he say? The system? That would be the end of him. How big of an opportunity did that have to be? Lin Xian smiled and said, It's all right. My luck is quite good. I'm a person who is born with good luck. So, can I pursue you now? Lu Qingzhu. You rest first. Here. Then, she handed Lin Xian a pill. No need. My spiritual force recovers faster. It's fine. Oh. Lu Qingzhu then put away the pill. Lin Xian looked into the distance. There must be monsters here, and they must be very strong. When the time comes, follow me closely. I have the spatial attribute. At least I can guarantee your safety. Lin Xian said to Lu Qingzhu. Why was Lin Xian so sure that there must be monsters here? It wasn't that Lin Xian's eye of insight had seen anything, nor was it that Lin Xian had seen the footprints of demonic beasts. It was just that firstly, this place was suitable for demonic beasts to live. Secondly, there were small animals here. Lin Xian had seen butterflies, mosquitoes, and the like. Since such animals existed, there must be powerful demonic beasts. This was inevitable. If small animals could live here, why couldn't monsters? Moreover, these butterflies and mosquitoes were poisonous. If the mosquitoes here bit an ordinary person, they would die in a short time. Everyone, let's go. Okay. Then, everyone continued to move forward. After passing through the man-eating flower forest that had already been burned to ashes, the scene in front of them changed once again. This was the experience of every martial artist. Once the scene changed in a relatively dangerous place, it would be more dangerous. Wow! So beautiful! Seeing the scene in front of them, everyone couldn't help but exclaim. Even many men couldn't help but be stunned. Some people even took out their phones to take pictures. It was because this place was really beautiful. Chapter 1609. What was ahead? Peach Blossom Forest. It was a huge peach blossom forest. It was very, very pink and beautiful. Outside, it was basically impossible to see such a scene. Furthermore, the peach blossoms here were especially beautiful and lush. In reality, even if one had a large peach blossom forest, the level of beauty was completely incomparable to this. It was as though there was a Photoshop or filter. However, this was definitely a dangerous place. The most charming and dangerous. Everyone, don't blindly enter. Limit flow. Observe from the outside. Everyone, follow me into this peach blossom forest to investigate. Alright. Then, dozens of experts walked into the peach blossom forest. Lin Xian didn't see anything special with his eye of cave spirit. Could it really be an ordinary peach blossom forest? No, no, no. It was definitely impossible. This peach blossom forest was the same as the man-eating flower forest from before. Since it existed here, there had to be a reason for its existence. And to the people of Emperor of Shang's tomb, what they wanted to do was to prevent others from entering. Therefore, everything was to prevent them from entering. It was either to scare them or to kill them without being able to enter. Damn, this Emperor of Shang's tomb is much more difficult than I imagined. Lin Xian pondered slightly. This Emperor of Shang's tomb was really similar to the ruins of an expert. In modern times, there were basically no ruins of experts, but Emperor of Shang's tomb existed in that era. In that era, there were definitely ruins of experts. Therefore, this Emperor of Shang's tomb was likely a ruin of an expert. Even Lin Xian was suspecting something. He was suspecting that the location they were in was a small world. A small world, if you put it in the modern martial arts world, was simply a fantasy. But for the previous era, it should have been possible. And how did a small world form? There were two possibilities. First, it was a spirit artifact. Second, when a warrior's cultivation reached the heavenly Tao realm, they had the capital to create a pocket world that belonged to them. To experts at that level, some of them placed great importance on a pocket world, and some of them would even create a pocket world in an extremely good condition. If this was a small world, didn't that mean that there was a heavenly Tao realm existence in Xian's tomb? On second thought, it was quite normal. It was definitely possible for a heavenly Tao realm existence to exist in that era. Furthermore, King Zhou of Shang was remembered by others for his brutality and incompetence. But was he really incompetent to be able to ascend to the throne of an emperor during that golden age? No. He was probably an extremely powerful expert himself. In next to no time, those experts walked out. Seniors, is there any problem? Tian Guzi said, there's nothing wrong with it. Other than the poison floating in the air, I really didn't find anything else. It's just that this peach blossom forest seems a little big, and it's forbidden to fly. Flight restriction. Those people showed puzzled expressions. That's right. At the start, We wanted to step into the air and see what the situation was like. After all, we could see further from a high vantage point. But we discovered that we could only jump and not fly. There is a power here that forbids martial artists from flying. In other words, we could only follow the peach blossom forest and slowly walk in. But just because we haven't discovered any danger doesn't mean that there isn't any danger. It definitely exists. Therefore, after entering, we have to follow the people in front. If we don't want to die, it's best that we do so. Then, let's enter. Why don't we let Brother Lin Xian try and see if he can release his flames to burn this peach blossom forest? Master Wuxin said at that moment. That works too. My young friend Lin Xian, is there a problem? Lin Xian said, I'll give it a try. Then, Lin Xian took a step forward and released his powerful flames of darkness. But, this time, the flames of darkness were useless. It was as though the flames of darkness had touched water and were completely isolated. No. Although these peach blossoms aren't immune to fire, the pollen floating in the air can isolate the flames. It's useless. Lin Xian said. Yes, that's reasonable. After all, the person who created this place isn't a fool. Since the previous ones could be resolved with flames, it's impossible here. Then, let's enter. Then, they all walked into the peach blossom forest. The blossoms were mesmerizing. When they walked in, they felt that these peach blossoms didn't seem particularly beautiful. Instead, no matter which direction you looked, it seemed to be in front of you. It was easy to get lost. Fortunately, the people in front could still see, so it wasn't a big deal. Lin Xian looked at Lu Qingzhu beside him. Give me your hand. Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian in confusion. Lin Xian said, This peach blossom forest looks more like a maze to me. Be careful. Give me your hand. I'll hold your hand. No matter what, the two of us won't get separated. In terms of experience, Lin Xian was not inferior to these old fellows at his young age. Because of the difference in living environment, Lin Xian had been exposed to too many things in the past few years on Sky Blue Planet. On Earth, these top experts didn't have many opportunities to come into contact with these things. If this place was a ruin, then Lin Xian felt that it was quite familiar. It can't be, right? The people in front are right in front of us. It can't be that we lost them, right? Lu Qingzhu even felt that this Lin Xian was deliberately taking advantage of her. It was normal. After all, Lin Xian was an old pervert. And although Lu Qingzhu was outstanding, she lived in this era. No matter how outstanding she was, she couldn't compare to those people in Sky Blue Planet. Especially in terms of experience, he couldn't compare. But if Lu Qingzhu lived in Sky Blue Planet, then she would at least be a Han Chuxue or Ling Ying. Not to the point of losing them? Then look, how many people can you see around you? Lin Xian said. Lu Qingzhu turned her head to take a look. It seems, it's not as crowded as before. They had entered with over 1,000 people. There were originally many people around, but now when you look again, you feel that it's a lot thinner. Perhaps this is the meaning of the existence of this peach blossom forest. However, it's useless even if I say it out loud. Because those who should be separated will eventually be separated. Moreover, there's a ban on flying. This also means that this place is a maze. Could it be that everyone had to hold hands? That's not realistic. Give it to me. Lu Qingzhu then handed her hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian gently pinched her cheeks, causing her to blush. Lin Xian, do you think we can survive? Lu Qingzhu had an inexplicable feeling that it might be a little difficult to even live. Chapter 16:10. Could they survive? Lin Xian pondered for a moment and then smiled. Yes. Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. She didn't know where his confidence came from. But his realm was only so high. It was true that he could fight across realms, but if he were to face a truly terrifying existence, how much would he be able to overcome? No matter how much he crossed, even the most powerful one could only fight against a celestial master, right? She even felt that there might be a higher virtual realm expert here. It wasn't just Lu Qingzhu. In fact, many people had this feeling. But then they thought about it again. If there really was a very, very powerful expert here, then why would they use these flowers and plants to restrict them and prevent them from moving forward? Lu Qingzhu really felt that this should be the most terrifying place she had ever been to. It was even more terrifying than the place where Tao Tai was. Although they didn't seem to have encountered such a terrifying existence, she had this feeling. Don't worry, I have the space attribute. No matter what, I can at least guarantee our safety. Lin Xian said. But, when we were at Tao Tai's place, your space was useless. Lu Qingzhu said. Lin Xian was embarrassed. In fact, Lin Xian didn't rely on the space attribute, but he didn't know how to tell her now. What's wrong? Little Qingzhu, are you scared? Lin Xian smirked and asked while holding her hand. I'm a little scared, but this kind of fear is more of the fear of the unknown. I don't know why, maybe it's my illusion. I just feel that this place is very powerful and dangerous. I always feel that not many people can leave here alive. Lu Qingzhu didn't like this feeling very much. Why? Lin Xian asked. Because I don't know how to say it. I just feel that everything here, including this dense forest, is too grand. It shouldn't be something that a tomb should have. Then you can treat it as a ruin. Lin Xian said. Ruin? I've read about it in ancient books. Some of the top experts will create their own ruins. Although the ruins look small, there is actually a very exaggerated space inside. There may even be a small world in the ruins. Lin Xian nodded. Then do you think the place we're in now looks like a small world? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Lu Qingzhu's beautiful eyes lit up. I understand. She was afraid because of the unknown. But now, the place had not changed, and everything she encountered had not changed. However, because of Lin Xian's sudden explanation, she realized that this place could be understood as a ruin. Then, she was suddenly not afraid, because everything was no longer unknown. Thank you. Lu Qingzhu recovered instantly. Lin Xian smiled and said, You're my girlfriend. Other than ensuring your safety, of course I have to be your shelter from the wind and rain. Lu Qingzhu glanced at Lin Xian. Don't talk nonsense. Then she glanced around. It was true. After chatting for a while, the people around them became even more sparse. Lin Xian, do you realize that the people around us seem to be getting fewer and fewer? The few people behind him followed Lin Xian. Lin Xian was undoubtedly the most famous. Moreover, he had shown experience that made those top experts sigh in admiration. Those people subconsciously felt that Lin Xian was someone they could rely on. Not only are there fewer people, there is fog around us. Lin Xian glanced around. It seems to be true. Our visibility is getting closer and closer. The fog's poison is only normal. It seems that the purpose of this peach blossom forest is to trap us here and make us lose our way. As for what dangers we will encounter after we get separated, I'm not sure. But for now, it's like this. Coupled with the mysterious power of the forbidden sky, it was obviously to make people lose their way here. Lin Xian, do you have a way? A girl asked. She seemed to be afraid. This feeling was even more exaggerated than Lu Qingzhu's. Lu Qingzhu was a proud daughter of heaven, but it depended on the place. After all, Earth was Earth. No matter how outstanding a person was here, they would only experience so much. Away! Lin Xian rubbed his chin and smiled. Of course. Follow me. With the cave spirit eye, no matter what you do, Lin Xian will not be lost. Lin Xian also realized that once a person got lost, they would disappear from their sight. Even their voices couldn't be heard. This might be an effect of the fog. Gather everyone who can see here and follow me. Lin Xian said. Okay. Those people hurriedly called out. Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. He was so strange. It wasn't that this person was strange, but he showed everyone a kind of calm in the face of danger. It was as if there was nothing he couldn't do. So it was very strange. How old was he? If this had happened to a senior, she wouldn't have thought much of it. However, when it came to Lin Xian, even though there seemed to be many mysteries surrounding him and he was very powerful, this kind of experience, confidence, and so on, he was really too reassuring. Following by his side really made people feel at ease. Hey, little Qing Zhu, why are you staring at me? Is it because I'm too handsome? Lin Xian's sudden words disrupted Lu Qingzhu's thoughts. She blushed. No. Then, she quickly turned her face away. Soon, more than 100 people gathered around Lin Xian. Everyone, follow me. Of course, if you don't want to get separated, I suggest that you all hold hands. Lin Xian. We won't get separated, right? We only have so few people. Don't tell me we can't see. One of them said something. Up to you. Let's listen to Lin Xian. After all, the 2,000 of us have indeed been separated, a girl said. Lin Xian pulled Lu Qingzhu's hand and walked forward. Do you see it? Lin Xian said as he walked forward. What? Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian in confusion. These peach trees are moving. Lu Qingzhu opened her small mouth. I don't see it. Of course, their movement doesn't mean that they are demons. It could be that some kind of force or formation is driving them to move. That's why everyone got separated so easily. It's not just because of the fog, it's mainly because these peach trees are constantly moving in an orderly manner, causing all the directions to be messed up. Furthermore, there are peach trees everywhere. Even if there were a lot of movement, we wouldn't be able to discover anything. Even the peach trees a few hundred meters ahead of us have already started moving in advance, causing us to deviate from our path and change directions as we walk in circles, Lin Xian said. Chapter 16:11. It was very difficult to discover, because these peach trees moved without any sound or movement. Furthermore, it was impossible to see the peach trees moving in front of your eyes, unless you really discovered it. I believe that some people would discover it. And the stupidest way to get out was to destroy the peach trees along the way. Although peach trees were immune to fire and could not be burned due to the pollen, they were still ordinary peach trees. If they were bombarded bit by bit, they would still be able to blast a path out. However, if Lin Xian could think of this, then the person who set up this peach blossom forest must have thought of it as well. Therefore, this peach blossom forest must be very big. Its purpose was to trap a portion of the people and slow them down. Furthermore, even if you could destroy it bit by bit, you would lose your way. What you destroyed was not the way forward. Wouldn't that be an explosion? They followed Lin Xian and walked forward for about 3 hours. After walking in this peach blossom forest for 3 hours, it was enough to see how big it was. Wow! We're out! At first, they were especially excited when they saw the peach blossom forest. It was very beautiful, but after walking for a long time, they felt like vomiting. When they walked out, there was a green forest in front of them. It was the same as before, but it made them very happy. Anyway, if they could leave this place, the flowers they hated the most in their lives would probably be peach blossoms. Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian in surprise. There were clearly no other footprints in the surroundings. In other words, they were the first to walk out. Even the top experts did not come out earlier than them. And the reason why they could come out so early was all because of Lin Xian. It was as if he was very familiar with this place. It was as if the fog and peach blossom forest did not exist in his eyes. He seemed to be able to find the right path. However, Lu Qingzhu had been holding hands with Lin Xian the entire time. She did not even see Lin Xian release any power, use any spiritual weapons or talismans. He really just walked out. What the hell was going on? This person was simply too shocking. She felt that the more time she spent with him, the more mysterious he became. It was as if the frivolous appearance on the surface was a complete facade. The real Lin Xian was a powerful existence filled with confidence and great wisdom that appeared to be stupidity. Looks like no one has come out yet. Lin Xian sat there and lit a cigarette. How can we help? Lu Qingzhu asked. Without those experts, Lu Qingzhu felt that it would be very dangerous even with Lin Xian around. They needed a large number of top experts. Only by working together would they be able to go further. In other words, only then would they dare to move forward. Lin Xian also needed these people. After all, he was only at the domain realm. I need to think. Lin Xian smoked as he thought of a plan. Lin Xian had a way to deal with the fog, but even if he did, they wouldn't be able to walk out. I wonder if my law of destruction will work. Lin Xian's current realm wasn't high, and this peach blossom forest was so big. If he were to destroy the laws, Lin Xian wasn't sure if it would have much of an effect. However, this was just an ordinary peach blossom forest. This was just an ordinary fog. Thinking about it, even if it was a large area, it shouldn't be a problem, right? After all, the law of destruction and the law of creation were very exaggerated. Only you could think of it. As long as you had enough power, you could think of anything. I'll give it a try. Lin Xian took a deep breath. No matter how mysterious this peach blossom forest was, it was just ordinary peach blossom trees. So even if there were so many of them, could the law of destruction destroy countless ordinary peach blossom trees? As for the pollen, it might just be ordinary pollen with a certain effect. Actually, Lin Xian had thought of it from the beginning, but he didn't dare to do it. But now, he wondered if he should give it a try. Law of destruction. A terrifying power erupted from Lin Xian's body. Shua, in the next instant, the large peach blossom forest in front of them suddenly evaporated. This? Everyone was flabbergasted. What happened? Could it be that they had walked for so long in the illusion? Lin Xian took a deep breath. He didn't know how much of the peach blossom forest had been destroyed by the law of destruction, but it was definitely not all of it. It might not even be 1/10. In any case, Lin Xian nearly vomited blood. F***CK. How big is this peach blossom forest? Lin Xian was dumbfounded. Fortunately, he was quick-witted and didn't think of directly destroying the entire peach blossom forest in one go. He destroyed 1/12 of it and nearly vomited blood. Otherwise, if Lin Xian directly wanted to destroy the entire peach blossom forest and release the law of destruction, he would probably be crippled. Even if he didn't die, he would be crippled. How terrifying! Lu Qingzhu's little mouth opened. What was this Lin Xian? What kind of power did he release just now? Why didn't she feel anything? But why did the peach blossom forest in front of her disappear? Clearly, that was Lin Xian's doing. This? Lin Xian took a few pills and sat there to rest. Hey, you guys are out? There were quite a few people in the destroyed peach blossom forest. They ran over. Amitabha, could it be Brother Lin Xian's doing? Master Wuxin looked at the meditating Lin Xian and bowed. This peach blossom forest is so strange. I almost couldn't walk out, but why did it suddenly disappear? Could it be an illusion? It was true. Many people inexplicably felt that it was an illusion. Otherwise, why would all the peach blossom trees disappear? Lin Xian expressed that he was very tired. Why did so many top experts need Lin Xian to carry them? However, there was nothing he could do. It wasn't that Lin Xian was a saint, but that Lin Xian knew that his realm was only at the domain realm. The maximum amount of system points that the system could give them could not reach the heavenly venerable realm. And among these experts, there were even some high-level heavenly venerable realm experts. Furthermore, there were quite a number of them. Lin Xian needed them. Lin Xian had to obtain the supreme nether glow grass. He could not afford to lose it. Helping them was helping himself. At the same time, Earth's future situation might not be good. Lin Xian did not want them to die. At the very least, they would be a powerful fighting force for Earth in the future. If something happened to Earth, although they were only a small portion of the martial artists, they would still be a very important fighting force. Lin Xian would leave. He needed them to protect Earth. At the same time, it could be considered as protecting Lin Xian's beloved on Earth. Lin Xian took a deep breath and released the law of destruction again. Whoa, it really seems like an illusion. Look, a large peach blossom forest disappeared over there. It's true. F***CK. Look here. Suddenly, someone discovered something. Footprints? These are the footprints of demonic beasts. This is... They swallowed a mouthful of saliva and suddenly felt that their surroundings had become eerie. Chapter 1612. Lin Xian had already guessed that there were demonic beasts here, so when he saw the footprints, he was not very surprised. However, the others were really afraid. Demonic beasts. They did not see many demonic beasts in the first place. The demonic beasts that they saw were mostly in hibernation for a long time and had just woken up. But here, this was a place that had always existed. With this environment, do you think that the demonic beasts would be in hibernation? That was obviously not the case. Demonic beasts that were not in hibernation had lived here for 3,000 to 4,000 years. How much would the demonic beasts have grown? Although the cultivation of demonic beasts was much more difficult than that of humans, at the same time, the lifespan of demonic beasts was not something that humans could reach. If this was a place where the strong preyed on the weak, then there must be weak demonic beasts. Similarly, there must be strong demonic beasts. If it was just that the person who created DXIN's tomb had deliberately set it up here and only put a few demonic beasts in, then they were either dead or had grown into extremely powerful existences. However, Lin Xian felt that it might be the former. Otherwise, why would those things in front stop them from entering? Wouldn't it be fine to just let them in to die? What was the point of doing so? It's over. It's over. The footprints of this demonic beast should belong to a feline demonic beast, right? It looks like it. This kind of demonic beast is usually very fast and very aggressive. We have to let all the other seniors come over before we can move forward. Otherwise, we won't be able to move forward at all. That's simply courting death. I want to go back. I wanted to, but... Someone has already gone back, but he sent news that the passage on the wall where we left that space has been closed. It seems like we can't go back. We can only brace ourselves and move forward. Lu Qingzhu walked over and looked at the footprints. This footprint was bigger than 10 of her breasts. It's poisonous. Lu Qingzhu glanced at the soil in the footprints. It was clearly stained with poison. Lin Xian's law of destruction was released again. It could be said that it had almost destroyed the peach blossom forest. It would be easy for those people to find it. Which one of you can release some kind of fire or lightning power to attract the experts in the peach blossom forest over? Lin Xian said as he walked to Lu Qingzhu's side. He squatted down and reached out to touch the sand. Be careful. Lin Xian sniffed. Extremely poisonous. If an Empyrean realm is poisoned, they should die suddenly within a short time. Lin Xian then used a power to disperse the poison on his hand. Ah! So strong? Doesn't that mean that if the seniors who came with us were to be poisoned, they would also die in a short period of time? Those people revealed terrified expressions. Without a doubt, Lin Xian's previous performance made them believe in Lin Xian's words. They believed that Lin Xian was quite capable. At the very least, they felt that his words were more credible and did not treat him as a lunatic. Lin Xian said, "Listen carefully. I said that it won't be detoxified, but if it can be detoxified, it naturally won't be a big problem. This poison. Ordinary detoxification pills can't cure it, but I believe that those seniors should have something up their sleeves. This poison shouldn't be a big problem for now." Lin Xian then looked into the distance. He was not worried about the Fey beast. He was worried about what was deeper. This Fey beast should be at the Empyrean realm. If it was, then there should be someone at the Great Void realm here. These experts should have thought of this possibility. They might even have thought of the possibility of a heavenly Tao realm. Of course, the chances of a heavenly Tao realm being here were not high. Even if it was in hibernation, after so many years, it would still affect one's realm. However, a great Void Realm expert would definitely have thought of it. Perhaps their realm was not high enough, but after so many years, Earth had never lacked top-grade spirit artifacts. Those that had been passed down since ancient times were basically found in the various large sections. They would definitely bring top-grade spirit artifacts with them. With this in mind, Lin Xian was no longer that flustered. If it really didn't work, he still had a trump card. Soon, the experts arrived one after another. What's going on? Why did the peach blossom forest disappear? Was there some mechanism? Kuan Lunzi asked. I think it's Lin Xian. Someone whispered. Lin Xian. Some of the experts' gazes locked onto Lin Xian once again. If it's really this kid, then he's a little too strong. They said that Lin Xian was strong, but it did not necessarily mean that he was strong in terms of strength. Instead, it meant that he was strong in terms of experience. In any case, none of them could do anything about it. How did this kid manage to resolve all of them? However, if the peach blossom forest had not suddenly disappeared, they would probably have to stay in there for a while longer. Are these the footprints of demonic beasts? They also noticed it. Yes, there are more in the distance. They're from other demonic beasts. Clearly, there are many demonic beasts ahead. They nodded. Everyone, take a break. There should be a tough battle waiting for us next. Then, Kuan Lunzi looked at the others and said, Everyone, get your spirit artifacts, talismans, and other things ready at any time. Yes, no problem. After resting for a while, Zhang Zhuyang of Wudong Mountain glanced at everyone and said, Everyone, follow us. Be careful. It's best to take out your spirit artifacts at any time. Yes. Then, they took out their spirit artifacts one after another. The group that had already gathered together set off again. Soon, Roar, a gigantic demonic beast, was blocking their path. Obviously, they had entered the demonic beast's territory and caused it to be extremely dissatisfied. And this demonic beast might have greater confidence in its own strength, or did it have a reason to not leave this place? In any case, in the face of so many people, this demonic beast actually dared to stand out. To be honest, this scene was not right. There must be a reason. Is this armored dragon crocodile? Seeing this demonic beast, the experts all revealed vigilant expressions. Armored dragon crocodile. That's right. At first glance, it looked like a crocodile. However, this crocodile was especially big. It was estimated to be 10 meters long, including its tail. Moreover, its body was extremely thick. The most memorable thing about this armored dragon crocodile was its bloody mouth. The scales on its body were like armor that covered every part of its body. Moreover, there were sharp thorns on the armor. The thickest part was not its limbs, but its tail. Chapter 1613. At first glance, the armored crocodile's tail gave people the feeling that, if you were swept by this tail, you would either be smashed to death, with all your ribs broken and your internal organs ruptured, or your body would be pierced by the spikes on the tail. This tail was also the armored crocodile's main combat tool. Everyone, be careful. This armored crocodile is very strong. Spread out, don't come over if your cultivation hasn't reached the heavenly venerable realm. Zhang Zhuyang shouted, and then a group of powerhouses walked over together. I didn't expect that the first monster we encountered here would be this armored crocodile. Yeah, it said that the armored crocodile is a T2 level monster with high defense in addition to T1 level monsters like the black tortoise. Yes, of course, it's just a rumor, but it's definitely not groundless. Looking at the appearance of this armored crocodile, you can tell how strong its defense is. In this world, there was a saying that in the world of martial arts, only speed was unbreakable. That was right. Fast speed was really something that was difficult to break. In addition to speed, another thing that was difficult to break was defense, especially when defense and power coexisted. This armored crocodile was like that, and its speed was not slow either. It could be said that this was a more versatile monster. Its cultivation might only be around 5 or 6 stars of the heavenly venerable realm, but you could see that so many powerhouses had taken action. It was enough to see what level this armored crocodile was in their eyes. It was strong, definitely strong. Start the battle. Whoosh! In the next moment, that group of powerhouses took action. This was also the first time Lin Xian had seen such a scene since he came to Earth, including those times in the past. It was even the first time he saw a scene of a battle between heavenly venerable realm warriors on Earth. It was quite powerful. However, compared to the warriors of the same level on Sky Blue Planet, it was indeed a little worse. Even these old guys could not compare to the old guys of the same level on Sky Blue Planet. After all, it was a matter of living environment. Armored crocodile, a monster that has gone extinct. Its defense is extremely strong, and its weakness is its stomach. Lu Qingzhu looked at the battle in the distance and murmured, "But it's difficult to hit the stomach." Lin Xian said, "Well, this demonic beast is similar to a crocodile, but it is very strong. In addition to having great strength, it also has a strong defensive ability. It stands on all 4 limbs and is as immovable as a mountain. Unless it is suppressed by the realm, it is very difficult to cause any harm to it." Boom! Kuan Lunzi and the other experts kept bombarding the armored dragon crocodile with their powerful strength. The armored dragon crocodile was forced to retreat. It was normal for it to be defeated. After all, the armored dragon crocodile's realm wasn't that high. Kuan Lunzi and the others' realms were even higher than it, and they had more people. However, the armored crocodile did not suffer any damage. Simply put, it was difficult for the armored draconic crocodile to kill those experts. It was also difficult for those experts to cause substantial damage to the armored draconic crocodile. "No, we have to attack its stomach. Is there any way to send this armored crocodile into the air? It's a little difficult. The armored crocodile is as immovable as a mountain, unless the difference in strength is very great. King hate this kind of defensive type of demonic beast the most. You say you don't dare to fight, but you dare to hide. What's the point? Everyone, whose law or domain would you like to try? I'll do it." Then, an old man rushed over. "Domain, sleep. Roar." Then, the armored dragon crocodile roared angrily and shattered his domain power. Roar. With another roar, a powerful shockwave erupted from the armored dragon crocodile surroundings and rushed out in all directions. Everyone was a little helpless against this armored dragon crocodile with extremely strong defense. However, the powerful force released by the armored dragon crocodile could not easily hurt these experts. Unless it was its terrifying tail. However, dodging this tail attack was still very easy. If they couldn't even dodge this tail attack, then they would be too weak. Mountain toppling spell. Whoosh! Suddenly, Qingyun Mountain's Taoist priest Qing Shan flashed above the armored dragon crocodile. A talisman appeared in his hand and directly stuck on the armored dragon crocodile's armor. Open. Shua. Following that, the power of the talisman erupted. The armored dragon crocodile was sent flying by an invisible force and its body flipped over. Good spell. When they saw this scene, all the experts, including the people behind them, exclaimed in admiration. "This spell is interesting." Lin Xian rubbed his chin. The mountain toppling spell can even flip over a tall mountain. It's a relatively useless talisman. I didn't expect it to have a miraculous effect at this time. Lu Qingzhu praised. Therefore, although these experts are all celestial venerables and might encounter great void stage experts, they are still from various sects and factions. Their individual strength may be average, but when combined, they are indeed very strong. That's why, although these experts are all celestial venerables and might encounter great void stage experts, they are still existences from various sects and factions. Their individual strength may be average, but when combined together, they are indeed very strong. Lin Xian said. "Why do you sound like an unfathomable senior?" Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian. "Huh? Am I?" Lin Xian scratched his head. "You're thinking too much. I'm only 23. No, I might not even be 23. Lu Qingzhu was shocked. He was a person who was younger than him, but what he displayed was something that he could never hope to achieve. The armored dragon crocodile was flipped over. The strength of those experts was still strong, so they easily dealt with it. To be honest, the armored dragon crocodile's armor was really hard. Then, those experts began to divide the treasures of the armored dragon crocodile. It was nothing more than the demon core and the most important armor. The defensive power of this armor was simply too strong. If they brought it back to forge and refine something, the effect would definitely be explosive. Everyone, hurry up and leave this place. It's not good to stay here for long. A powerful demonic beast had died. The smell of its blood would definitely attract other demonic beasts. Let's go. Go, go, go. Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian. What's wrong? No. No one cares why this demonic beast dares to come out and stop us when it sees so many of us coming here? Lin Xian was dumbfounded. It's a spiritual object of heaven and earth. Lu Qingzhu said. Lin Xian then opened his eye of cave spirit. That's true. Then, Lin Xian quickly walked over. No one else cared. There was actually a stalk of yin and yang grass in the weeds. This was an extinct treasure. It's a pity that it's not the supreme nether glowing grass. Lin Xian sighed. This terrain should be quite suitable for the growth of the supreme nether glowing grass. Let's go. Lin Xian put away the yin and yang grass and then hurriedly followed the large group in front of them. There were more things waiting for them. Chapter 16:14. Time slowly passed. They encountered many monsters along the way, but they were all scared but not in danger. This was because they only encountered 1 or 2 monsters. They were generally in the heavenly venerable realm, but they were even easier to deal with than the armored dragon crocodile from before. The sky darkened. This was a small world. The black and white was enough to explain it. So far, they seemed to be going very smoothly and there were no casualties. Duan Lingxiao had been paying attention to Lin Xian. He really wanted to kill this Lin Xian, but it was difficult to find an opportunity to do so. Moreover, even if he made a move now, he shouldn't be Lin Xian's opponent. He could only find an opportunity here and use the things here to get rid of Lin Xian. Of course, the premise was that he had to have the opportunity. Especially when he saw Lin Xian flirting with a beautiful woman like Lu Qingzhu, he couldn't stand it. He really couldn't stand Lin Xian having so many beautiful girls around him. He, Duan Lingxiao, wasn't bad either. He was even more handsome than this Lin Xian, but why couldn't he compare to him in all aspects? Why did girls like him? It's already late at night. Everyone, stop moving and rest. We'll continue tomorrow morning. Zhang Jiuyang of Wudong Mountain shouted to the people around him. Let's continue our journey tomorrow morning. It's too dark here at night, and demonic beasts are highly skilled in camouflage. It's best that we don't continue our journey in this environment. Taking advantage of the fact that the poison here isn't strong enough to be neutralized by the detoxification pill, and there won't be any abnormalities, let's rest here. It just so happens that there aren't many trees here, and it's a spacious area where we can see each other. Let's rest here, all of you rest. Be careful not to use any lights or flames, and be quiet. Kuan Lunzi said. Animals were afraid of fire. Normally, if you lit a bonfire in a dense forest at night, it would scare away many animals, including insects. But for demonic beasts, it was a different story. Instead, they would be attracted by the light of your fire. Everyone sat down to rest. Little Qingzhu, are you hungry? Lin Xian asked. Lu Qingzhu shook her head. I'm already in this realm. I won't be hungry. Then do you want to eat something? No, why? Do you want to eat hot pot? Lin Xian asked. Lu Qingzhu, don't tell me you still have a pot with you? Lin Xian then stretched out his hand, and a pot appeared. Then, there was a hot pot base. Of course, Lin Xian used the law of creation to create it. Lu Qingzhu, you can't bring hot pot ingredients, can you? Then, fat beef, fat sheep, tripe, lettuce, prawns, potatoes, and so on were all placed on the table. Lu Qingzhu. Is this person? It's quite cold here at night. Wouldn't it be great to eat hot pot to warm up and then rest? Lin Xian started a fire and the aroma of the hot pot wafted out. Many people who saw this scene with their own eyes the same way full of admiration. Do you have fungus? Black fungus. Lin Xian then took out a plate. Yes. Lu? How could he have everything? Master Wuxin, come and eat with us. Lin Xian greeted Master Wuxin. Amitabha, this poor monk won't be eating. The two of you are really in a leisurely mood. Lin Xian smiled and said, That's right. It's time to relax. That's true. After eating the hot pot, Lin Xian handed Lu Qingzhu a can of Coke. Then, whoosh, a double bed was placed in that area. Everyone. Damn. Is it poisonous? Lin Xian took out a blanket and laid it on the bed. Then, he crawled under the blanket and wrapped himself up. Lu Qingzhu stood there, dumbfounded. What did this person put in his interspatial ring? Look at the others. At most, they put a few sets of clothes and a blanket. This person put a bed in it? Of course, it was made by Lin Xian, but the others thought he took it out from his interspatial ring. Little Qingzhu, rest. Lin Xian patted the bed on the other side. Lu Qingzhu hurriedly shook her head. Sigh, you must rest comfortably during this break. There'll probably be a fierce battle tomorrow. How about this? I'll make another blanket for you. Then, Lin Xian made another blanket. In the end, Lu Qingzhu still went in. The people around were envious and hateful. Was he King bullying her? Time passed slowly. Everything quieted down. Only the strange cries of small animals could be heard. Basically, everyone was sitting there, cultivating, meditating, and recuperating. Only Lin Xian and Lu Qingzhu were lying on the bed like their fathers. It was very quiet. They could even hear the breathing of the people next to them. At this moment, Zhang Zhuoyang's voice broke the silence. Everyone, wake up. Everyone opened their eyes. Lin Xian and Lu Qingzhu also sat up. Senior Zhang, what's going on? Someone asked. The surrounding poison has increased by quite a bit. There might be a situation. Be careful. Hearing this, everyone instantly woke up and became alert. This was no small matter. Lin Xian had activated his Eye of Cave Spirit. F***CK. It wasn't just a situation. It was a F***King big deal. What was the situation with the Eye of Cave Spirit? They were surrounded by poison. This was normal. It was nothing because they were surrounded by poison from the moment they entered. However, if the poison was to be graded, the poison around them was level 1. About 100 meters away, the poison around them was level 2. Perhaps 200 meters away, the poison was level 3. They seemed to be surrounded by a very powerful poison. Furthermore, the poison was slowly seeping towards them. There was something wrong with this scene. It was as if something was controlling the poison. At this moment, several experts walked over from afar. The situation isn't good. I don't know what's going on, but the surrounding poison is increasing. We're surrounded by a stronger poison, and it's seeping towards us. I estimate that in a few minutes, the poison here will double. It's not a big deal even if it doubles. The antidote is about the same. However, this scene is too strange. We might be targeted. Then what do we do now? Should we break through the area where the poison is stronger? Someone asked. It's best not to. It's dangerous. I even suspect that the poison might be released by a monster. If it is, it's too dangerous. Everyone, continue to stay here and wait for dawn. Everyone, take out your talismans. All right. The power of the talismans added a protective barrier around them. This barrier also prevented the poison from seeping in. Chapter 16:15. Everyone felt at ease when this protective shield was raised. However, after this incident, none of them were in the mood to rest. Lin Xian quietly reached out and hugged Lu Qingzhu's slender waist. Lu Qingzhu quickly took his hand away and walked down from the bed. "Senior, if we don't go out, will we become turtles in a jar?" Lu Qingzhu asked worriedly. Those experts muttered. "I'm not sure. We don't know anything about this place. However, staying here should be the safest thing to do. After all, we have so many people. No matter what we do, we have to consider if it's suitable for everyone to move together." At this moment, someone shouted, "Everyone, look over there. Is that a demonic beast?" Everyone's gazes shifted over. In the poisonous fog outside, they seemed to see a red beam of light in the middle of the night. This red light gave them the feeling that it was the blood-red eye of a demonic beast. Lin Xian used his eye of spiritual insight to take a closer look. Others couldn't see it clearly, but Lin Xian could. "It's a scorpion," Lin Xian said. "Scorpion? Demonic beast?" Lin Xian nodded. "Yes. Its body is about 5 or 6 meters long. Its entire body is yellow in color. The spikes on its back are releasing poisonous gas. This poisonous gas should be released by this scorpion. Moreover, there should be more than one of them. We might be surrounded by a group of scorpion demonic beasts." Everyone was secretly shocked. They weren't shocked by Lin Xian's words, but how could this Lin Xian see it clearly? None of the top experts, including themselves, were able to see clearly. All they could see was the blood-red eye in the darkness, and nothing else. And yet, Lin Xian was still able to tell what color the demonic beast was, even in such a situation? "Don't you think this is ridiculous? Earth-colored? 5 or 6 meters long. Does this demonic beast have circular patterns on its body?" Lin Xian nodded. "Yes. It's a desert scorpion," Kuan Lunzi said. "Desert scorpion? Isn't this a demonic beast from the desert? Why would it appear in the dense forest?" The reason is very simple. Once upon a time, someone went to the desert and caught these demonic beasts, and they lived here. This also shows that the construction of this place was indeed purposeful. An expert said, "The desert scorpion is a group of demonic beasts. It is very fast, has very strong defense, and is very poisonous. Moreover, the desert scorpion cooperates very well. It is even said that if the desert scorpion cooperates in battle, it can even condense some kind of formation, which can greatly increase their combat strength." Zhang Jiuyang said, "Normally, there would be 200 to 300 desert venomous scorpions in a group. Their general realm is definitely not too high. This poison should be released by the desert venomous scorpions. Their goal is to poison all of us so that they can have a good meal. But don't forget, the desert scorpions have lived in this kind of environment for so many years. Even if their realm isn't high, it's definitely not low. Everyone, prepare for battle." Kuan Lunzi summoned his horsetail whisk. If it's the desert venomous scorpions, then their poison has a corrosive effect on the defensive power we released. The defensive boundary released by this talisman will be corroded in a short while, and a battle is inevitable. These desert venomous scorpions might have condensed a formation. For us now, it's no longer about dodging, but about taking the initiative to attack. We can't let these desert venomous scorpions condense some kind of power unscrupulously," Kuan Lunzi said. "Everyone, get ready. Me, Senior Kuan Lunzi, Peak Master Uni, and Master Korong will each lead some martial artists to deal with the desert venomous scorpions in 4 directions. You have 1 minute to quickly find your own team, and we'll get ready to fight," Zhang Jiuyang said. Lin Xian then stood behind Master Korong with Lu Qingzhu. It should be safer to follow a Shaolin Temple's expert. Besides, there was also Master Wuxin, so Lin Xian could cooperate with him to fight. "Cancel the talisman's power," Zhang Jiuyang yelled. "Yes." Then, the boundary around them disappeared. Whoosh! The poison instantly spread to their surroundings. "Do it!" Whoosh whoosh whoosh, after being here for so long, they had finally fought a large-scale battle. There were about 2,000 people in all 4 directions. On average, there were 500 martial artists in each direction. No matter how many desert venomous scorpions there were, they would not outnumber them, right? Lin Xian held a spiritual weapon in his hand. He passed through the poisonous fog and saw the desert venomous scorpions. They were not much different from what he had described earlier. They looked very terrifying and fierce, especially the scorpion tail that was raised a few meters in the air. The poisonous stinger looked really scary. Thunder strike! Whoosh! Lin Xian directly slashed at one of the desert venomous scorpions with his sword. The other 300 to 400 people also directly joined the battle. Boom! Lin Xian's thunder was dodged by the desert venomous scorpion. What the F***ck? Lin Xian was stunned. How could this big and silly desert venomous scorpion be so fast? It was so fast that Lin Xian felt that it had the power of the wind attribute. His attack actually missed? Whoosh! Then, the terrifying scorpion tail directly stabbed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's figure flashed. The scorpion tail also missed. 3-star domain realm. Damn, the realm of the demonic beasts here is really high. Lin Xian cursed in his heart. Lin Xian had the law of destruction. However, the law of destruction was very effective against units of a lower cultivation level than him. Once the opponent's cultivation level was higher than his, or even the same cultivation level, the effect would be greatly reduced. Therefore, Lin Xian could not directly use the law of destruction to kill the opponent, because this was a matter of life and death. But, although the effect of Lin Xian's law of destruction was very small, Lin Xian was facing a demonic beast that was only 2 stars higher than him. Really, in Lin Xian's eyes, this was simply too small a threshold. Space lock. Lin Xian directly released a space lock. The effect of his law of destruction might not be great, but he could casually release a space lock. Although Lin Xian's realm was lower than this desert venomous scorpion, Lin Xian's attribute strength was too high. Even if his realm was lower, he could definitely easily trap this desert venomous scorpion. After trapping it, space explosion. Boom! This was the most brainless but also the most effective method. The dust dispersed, the space exploded, and the desert venomous scorpion stood there unharmed. Lin Xian? What the F***ck? Many others were just as dumbfounded as Lin Xian. Chapter 1616. Lin Xian's jaw dropped. Wasn't its defense too strong? What was the main reason? The main reason was that the spatial blast was an omnidirectional blast. It didn't matter if the weakness was on the back, the head, or the stomach. In any case, the spatial blast would be able to hit the target. It would always be able to hit the target's weak points. However, the spatial blast was completely undamaged. Defensive power? Lin Xian saw that the desert scorpion's body was surrounded by an earth-colored light. This should be the beast's demon skill. It made sense. A beast of this type must have a strong defense. It was reasonable for its defensive demon skill to be able to block his space blast. But I wanted to end the battle easily. You're making things difficult for me. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed slightly. Dark fire. Shua. Lin Xian unleashed the power of his dark flames and charged forward. The desert scorpion wanted to use its strong defense to block Lin Xian's flame, but, Shua, following that, the desert scorpion melted. That was right. It was easily melted, which stunned many people in the surroundings. The powerful space attribute couldn't do anything to the desert scorpion. How could the fire attribute kill it instantly? Wasn't this illogical? That's right. When Lin Xian defeated Master Wuxin, he mentioned that his flames seemed to have the ability to ignore defenses. At that time, it didn't seem very obvious. Now that I look at it, holy sh**t, it's invincible. Yeah, it wasn't intuitive at first, but now that I have a comparison, it's really intuitive. It's so King exaggerated. Now I believe that Lin Xian really relied on his own strength to win against Master Wuxin. And his realm at that time might really not have been high. This flame is really awesome. The bonus is too high. So strong. If Lin Xian's realm is higher, with this flame, damn. Ruthless. This was especially so when they saw other martial artists who were at the same level as Lin Xian. When they compared themselves to Lin Xian in battle, they were shocked. It was like heaven and earth. Whoosh. Lin Xian's flames twined around a group of desert scorpions and then incinerated them. The speed of this slaughter wasn't any slower than those Empyrean realm powerhouses. In fact, it was even faster. This was King ridiculous. After the battle, Lu Qingzhu turned her head to look at Lin Xian. Was this person roasting a scorpion? How could his fire be so terrifying? It was King ridiculous. This group of desert venomous scorpions wasn't much of a threat to them, because their average cultivation level was too low. Although there was a large group, but the difference in cultivation level was right there. Moreover, even if the difference in cultivation level wasn't that great, with their numbers, they weren't afraid at all. This kid is really strong. That's right. Lin Xian's contribution is undeniable that we were able to reach this position so easily. In fact, half of it was due to him. Really, how many years has it been since I last saw such a genius cultivator? The last one was Shenyuan Qingtian, right? To be honest, I feel that Shenyuan Qingtian is not as good as him. The gap is quite big. If they are in the same realm, there is no comparison at all. He has too many powerful things. In a short time, the desert venomous scorpions were all eliminated by everyone. Plop, but right at this time, martial artists fell down one after another. What's going on? Those people revealed shocked expressions. It's poison. The poison condensed by the desert venomous scorpions has already seeped into this position. Everyone has inhaled the poison of the desert venomous scorpions. Warriors with slightly lower cultivation levels can't withstand it anymore. Quick, take out higher-level detoxification pills and give them to them. Okay. Then, those powerhouses took out a large number of higher-level detoxification pills and gave them to them. Everyone, take it. Come and get the detoxification pills. Yes. Everyone walked over. They knew how many people would come this time, so basically all the major forces brought all the detoxification pills they could get their hands on. During this period of time, they had done their best to refine a large number of detoxification pills in anticipation of this situation. After all, it was normal for a place like this to have a large amount of poison, so at least these people would take enough. It seems that these desert venomous scorpions didn't appear to kill us, but to condense this poison to make us retreat. That's right. That's right. Moreover, it looks like these desert scorpions are here specially. They even look like they're controlled or domesticated. They exist here for their mission. From the looks of it, coupled with the various signs from before, I can judge that the people of Xion's tomb don't want anyone to enter. Does this mean that they're not that strong? Maybe. Otherwise, they wouldn't have stopped us in such a way. They are afraid that someone will enter. Then, we have to go in even more. Everyone, take a rest. It seems that we are about to leave this poisonous forest. To be honest, if it weren't for these people's foresight, or if it weren't for the fact that they hadn't encountered such a situation for too many years, they would have been extremely cautious and prepared for everything several times over. Otherwise, even with so many people, they would have been stopped by this poison. However, Lin Xian felt that this was it? Wasn't this a little too weak? One had to know that this was Xion's tomb, the tomb of King Zhou of Shang. Didn't it feel a little too weak? Or was it just a small skirmish in this place? However, it seemed that they were about to leave. Or was this poison actually not that simple? But now, it seemed that these people were no longer a problem. What are you thinking about? Lu Qingzhu walked over and asked. I'm thinking that this poison isn't that simple. This is the tomb of King Zhou of Shang, and it seems that we are about to leave. Isn't this a little too simple? Lin Xian said. But it's actually not that simple. You've helped too much, Lu Qingzhu said. No, Even if I didn't help, at least there wouldn't be any losses. I think it's too easy. Aren't you too sensitive? Perhaps the real danger hasn't arrived yet? Lu Qingzhu said. That's true. Lin Xian nodded. Perhaps it was because he was too sensitive, or perhaps the real danger hadn't arrived yet. He might have gotten used to the more powerful dangers on planet Sky Blue, but Lin Xian wasn't used to the slightly easier environment here. After resting for a while, it was still night. However, this place was full of poison, so everyone had to leave. Everyone, go forward. Everyone rushed forward and walked out of the dense forest. Chapter 16-17. In front of them was a barren land. It was so barren that it was scary. They could not see the end of it, and there was only sand and stone everywhere. There were no signs of life at all. This place is so big and barren. Yeah, but the air is so fresh. It's not that the air is fresh. It's because we've already walked out of the poisonous forest. That's why the air here feels so fresh. But this place can't be a simple barren land, right? Zhang Jiuyang and the rest were also looking around cautiously. At present, it looked like a simple barren land, as if there was nothing wrong with it, but they would not relax their vigilance. Seniors, there seems to be a pit over there. Duan Lingxiao said as he stood on a higher ground and took a look. Is that so? Then, Zhang Jiuyang leaped up and stood in mid-air to look. There is indeed a pit, and it's huge. There seems to be more than one. Everyone, follow closely. Don't fall behind. Let's go over and take a look. Be prepared for battle. Yes. It was still very late, but their eyesight was not that simple. It was still relatively easy for them to see. When they walked over, they were shocked by the scene in front of them. Oh my God! Not only are there Qin terracotta soldiers, there are also Shang terracotta soldiers. There are so many. It's so majestic, this. Take a picture, take a picture. Many people could not help but take pictures. This scene was indeed majestic. Even Lin Xian was shocked. That's right. These pits were filled with terracotta soldiers. It was very neat, and there were all kinds of soldiers with all kinds of weapons in their hands. There were even cavalrymen. Actually, there was nothing majestic about the terracotta soldiers, but the majestic thing here was the number. At first glance, all one could see were terracotta soldiers. This is probably more than 100,000 terracotta soldiers, right? Whoosh, Kuan Lunzi descended from the sky and said, not only that, there are at least 800,000, maybe even 1,000,000. Over there, and over there. Everything is made of terracotta soldiers. That's too much work. So far, we've only discovered a few 100,000 Qin terracotta soldiers. Most of them were only discovered after we went deeper into understanding the terracotta soldiers. Yet, the number of terracotta soldiers here is already in the millions. Furthermore, this is only pit number 1. Who knows, there might be pits number 2 and 3. Who knows? This number might only be 1/5 or 1/10. So King Zhou of Shang is a true tyrant. That makes sense. He spent so much manpower to build these terracotta soldiers just to make his tomb look more majestic. Many people must have died. Everyone, please be careful and don't wander too far. We will rest outside the terracotta army pit and continue our journey tomorrow morning. Yes. Those experts also sat down cross-legged and began to recover their strength and spirit energy. If there was any movement, they would be the first to notice it. Hey, let's go take a photo. Help me take 2 photos. I'll go take a group photo. A girl said excitedly. All right, be careful not to damage the terracotta soldiers. So what if it's damaged? There are so many of them. No. This is different. If it's damaged in their territory, it would be disrespectful. Furthermore, these are all historical relics in the future. All right then. Someone went to take a photo. With someone taking the lead, more and more people began to take photos. Although they were all martial artists, who wouldn't want to share their photos with their friends? Especially with such a majestic scene? Some of them had already taken countless photos, but they just couldn't post it. There was no internet, but when they went out, they would post all the photos on their friends. Damn, when those experts, martial artists, friends, and young masters saw it, they would all believe that they had gone to King Xion's tomb. Secondly, they would be able to show off. How great would that be? As for Lin Xian, he had a kind of, how should he put it, fear towards the terracotta soldiers. It wasn't fear, but, because he had encountered them before. Yes, it was at Bing Lingyue's place. At that time, he, Miao Xiaomiao, and a few others from the Gale mercenary group went there to investigate. After that, they went in and found the terracotta soldiers, but, at that time, Lin Xian was almost scared out of his wits. Why? Lin Xian looked into the eyes of the terracotta soldiers. Suddenly, he saw a pair of eyes looking at him in the dark. Wasn't that scary? Lin Xian was almost scared to death. Damn, little Qingzhu, do you want to sleep? Lin Xian looked at Lu Qingzhu with a smile. No, it's almost dawn. I'll rest and prepare for the battle. Lu Qingzhu said indifferently. Ah, at this time, a girl's scream directly broke the silence of the night. What's going on? Everyone looked over at the same time, and some of them even took out their own spiritual weapons. It seemed like nothing was wrong here, but everyone was on high alert. The sudden scream made their hearts tremble. His eyes are moving, his eyes are moving. A girl was paralyzed on the ground as she pointed at a terracotta soldier in front of her and said in fear, "What? F***CK?" This time, Lin Xian was dumbfounded. It can't be, right? It can't be that the scene from before is happening again, right? Be careful. Suddenly, there was a loud shout. A girl standing in front of a terracotta soldier was attracted by the commotion. She didn't even realize that the terracotta soldier behind her had slowly raised the sword in its hand. This scene was seen by several people. Ah! A scream followed by a spurt of blood. The girl was directly killed by the sword and fell into a pool of blood. In an instant, fear filled the air. Everyone used their fastest speed to gather around the group of experts. They stared at the countless terracotta soldiers below in fear. This? The countless terracotta soldiers slowly moved. Gulp. Everyone swallowed a mouthful of saliva. I see eyes inside. There are eyes looking at me. Woo woo woo. A girl in the law realm was scared to tears. That wasn't an ordinary girl. She was in the law realm. One must know that Lu Qingzhu was also in the law realm. This girl was definitely not simple. She was scared to tears. It was enough to see how big of a shadow it would leave on her in the future. The main thing was that Lin Xian understood this fear. At that time, Lin Xian was scared to death. He was also a man. He was really caught off guard and unimaginable. Inside. Could it be? There are living people inside. Gulp. Thinking of this, everyone suddenly felt goosebumps on their backs. More than 1 million living people were sealed here. Chapter 16:18. Lin Xian took a deep breath. This is going to be troublesome. Let's not talk about what's inside. Even if we had so many ordinary people with swords, spears, swords, and halberds, we wouldn't be able to hold them off. They seem to be very powerful, but how are we going to deal with so many of them? Could this be the army of King Zhou of Shang? Gulp. Could it be that King Zhou of Shang made his army into terracotta soldiers and sealed them here? What the F***CK? Isn't this too cruel? My impression of King Zhou of Shang is that he's a tyrant, but I really didn't expect him to be this cruel. Isn't this a little too exaggerated? Then, this might be more than 1 million soldiers, right? But he can't possibly seal his entire army here, can he? Isn't that too unrealistic? Isn't this a little too cruel? But Do you think it's possible that King Zhou of Shang sealed his army here, waiting for them to wake up at some point in the future? Then he'll lead his army to rule the world? Hiss. Hearing this, some people sucked in a breath of cold air. This seemed to be a very possible thing. Who were these people in the past? This was too scary. Seniors, what should we do now? Someone shouted. The experts found it difficult to make a decision. If they continued to move forward, they might have to break through this army. They didn't even know what was going on with this army, but they were sure that there were some who were powerful. If they destroyed this army, their physical strength and spiritual energy would be greatly depleted. At this time, if a group of powerful existences came, they might not be able to resist, but at that time, they might not be able to resist. This was a possibility. But if they didn't destroy this army, what could they do? Go back. If they went back, they would have come for nothing. They would have come for nothing. Although they had seen this scene, it wasn't what they wanted to see. All the conclusions they came to after this were just guesses. Then what if they came back again? That wasn't impossible, but if they were to make another trip, would there be any changes? Everyone, what do you think? Kuan Lunzi said. This opinion is really hard to give. To be honest, we don't know what's going on with these people. Are they dead? Or have they awakened from their slumber? Or have they become puppets? It's hard to say. If they do wake up, then they are innocent people. Maybe they don't want to continue fighting for King Zhou of Shang. It would be a pity to kill them. But, no matter what we do, even if we don't have a lot of people, our strength is enough to wipe out the army on a large scale. If we don't continue and leave, then this trip will have completely lost its meaning. It will be a complete failure. I think that the previous poison and the demonic beasts did not stop us. This is just a small army. They will not stop us. I suggest that we kill them. If one day they go out and spread, and this number of people enters the city, the consequences will be unimaginable. Our stable society will be thrown into chaos in an instant, and it will cause social panic. But, if we are done fighting, our spiritual energy will be exhausted, and our physical strength will be exhausted. At this time, experts or demonic beasts will appear. What should we do? There are so many things in front of us that are blocking us because they don't want us to come in. Maybe they are afraid of us coming in. Maybe they are afraid of us. Maybe we could have won the battle, but because of these things in front of us, we will lose due to lack of physical strength. This is also possible. The experts were in a dilemma. Your Excellency Kuan Lunzi, please give us an opinion. It is difficult for us to agree on this, but we need someone to agree on this. Everyone looked at Kuan Lunzi. Kuan Lunzi looked ahead and said, "These soldiers should be dead. They are moving now, but no one is making any sound. There are no cries of pain or shouts. Their movements are very mechanical. I can't feel any life force. Therefore, I conclude that these people are no longer alive. No matter what, the worst result is that we cannot let these existences enter the city. We must kill them all. No matter what the purpose is, we must kill them all." Amitabha, corpse energy. There is corpse energy. A powerful existence of the Shaolin Temple said. What? Corpse energy? That's right. They were all corpses, and in a certain sense, they had already turned into corpses. In this situation, there was even a possibility that the corpses would turn into living humans. Simply put, those who were bitten or scratched by them could also become puppets in this state. It is very dangerous. We must not let them enter the city. Otherwise, there might be a biohazard crisis on Earth. This King Zhou of Shang is very calculative. Everyone's eyes narrowed. Everything was very clear now. Kill. Everyone, listen to my orders. Kill. Do not get hurt. If martial artists are not confident in their own strength, they will release their power to attack from a distance. These probably do not have much cultivation and will be easy to kill. It is just that there are more of them. Remember to maintain your spiritual power and physical strength in order to deal with the unknown dangers that may appear later. martial artists who lack spirit recovery pills, come here and get your pills. Kuan Lunzi shouted and then placed a large pile of jade bottles in front of them. Many other experts also placed their jade bottles there. Go. Yes. Whoosh. Then the group of experts rushed over. Prairie fire. A terrifying sea of fire erupted. A single martial skill could easily burn an army of over 1,000 to death. It looked like a lot. It was simple, but this was the power of a heavenly venerable. Moreover, this kind of power consumed a lot of spiritual power. There might be millions of soldiers here, enough for them to fight. Let's go. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Many experts continued to rush forward. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. He had to go in. Moreover, the Yin energy here was heavier. This meant that the supreme nether glowing grass could easily grow here. This was because this was an environment suitable for the supreme nether glowing grass. Therefore, Lin Xian even felt that he might be able to see the supreme nether glowing grass after he went in. However, if these experts were not there, Lin Xian would be in a difficult position if something happened to them. After all, his realm was so high now. Chapter 16-19. What could he do? Whoosh, Lu Qingzhu rushed over. Damn, this is just an ordinary army. There's no need to kill a chicken with a butcher's knife. I think there must be a way for us to destroy them easily, right? Lin Xian looked at the people in front of him who were bombarding the army with lightning, fire, wind, and water bubbles. Wait. Damn. How could he have forgotten one thing? These were ordinary soldiers, not martial artists. Even if they were martial artists, they would still have ways to deal with them before reaching a certain realm. Hot weapons. How could he forget about firearms? There were 2,000 of them, and each of them was holding a machine gun. Wasn't it 10,000 times better than constantly releasing martial arts and exhausting spiritual power and physical strength? The main thing was that these were all trash. Bullets were easy to deal with. And Lin Xian had this ability. Because law of creation. Shua, Lin Xian was holding a machine gun in his hands. With Lin Xian's Grand Dominion realm cultivation, it was a piece of cake for him to create such a firearm. The spiritual power Lin Xian used to create 100 machine guns were not as much as Lin Xian used to create a blade of grass. Because no matter what, a blade of grass was still alive. And this kind of thing that had no life and no spiritual energy was the simplest thing to deal with. Everyone, come to me to get your guns. Lin Xian shouted. Huh? Everyone was stunned. Da. Then Lin Xian held a machine gun and fired at the army. Everyone? That's right, everyone was stunned. F***CK. Did this guy have to be so wild? No, why did he bring this kind of thing? Who was this guy? He brought a bed and a gun? This? Brother, do you have more? Didn't I say? Come to me to get your guns. Shua, Lin Xian then released his law of creation. Hundreds of guns instantly appeared in front of him. Damn. Everyone's eyes widened. So many. Is your F***King family involved in the arms trade? Or are you going to store the F***King goods here first? They thought that it was the stock in Lin Xian's spatial ring, but they had obviously forgotten one thing. That was, how big was the space in his spatial ring? How big was the space in his spatial ring? Their best spatial ring only had 10 cubic meters of space, right? F***CK. Isn't this F***King 10,000 times better than stupidly using spiritual power to fight? Brother, give me one. I haven't F***King played with a gun before. Everyone, be careful. Don't hurt your own people. If you don't know how to play, try to control the recoil first. Don't worry. What realm are we all at? This little bit of recoil is nothing. Brother Lin Xian, do you have a sniper rifle? I F***King love sniping when I play games. Come on, let's have some fun. Give me a sniper rifle too. Although there are many of them, most of them are equipped with submachine guns. We can only shoot at close range. We'll use the sniper rifle to shoot at the distant ones. Continuous sniper rifle? No. I don't feel like using a continuous sniper rifle. I want a bolt sniper rifle. Lin Xian's mouth twitched. Then. Suppressive fire. This? Zhang Zhuoyang, Kuan Lunzi, and the other powerhouses who were fighting suddenly saw this scene and were dumbfounded. They quickly flashed over. What's going on? Their mouths were wide open. Seniors, come over and take a gun. Lin Xian greeted them. This? Yours? Lin Xian nodded. So many. Seeing that everyone had a gun, they swallowed a mouthful of saliva. What kind of deity was this? How could this be? How could this be? Good. Well done, well done. Zhang Zhuoyang looked at Lin Xian excitedly. No one would have thought that there would be someone who could bring thousands of guns and so many bullets here. Most importantly, he was a martial artist. Now, there were people who suspected that Lin Xian was definitely a firearms dealer. But this was not important. What was the most important thing? Don't forget. What they were most worried about was that if they fought with all their might, they would be exhausted and their spiritual power would be depleted. If more powerhouses came at this time, they would be finished. However, with a gun in each hand, they did not even need to expend spiritual power or physical strength to finish off this army easily. Although there were many of them, how could this army withstand the firepower of 2,000 people who were all equipped with cold weapons? Even if they had to keep retreating and widen the distance between them, it would only take time to finish them off. Moreover, they did not have to retreat. Although there were many of them and their speed was fast, but what if they had heavy weapons? For example, they saw the rocket launcher on Lin Xian's shoulder. Gulp, those people swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Was this a joke? Boom, a rocket launcher blasted over, and then directly exploded. Instantly, it was cleared. F***CK. Ruthless. This Lin Xian is really a father figure. F***CK. Why do I feel like we've been carried away by his thigh? Too ruthless. This is too exaggerated. Duan Ling Zhao's eyes narrowed slightly. Lin Xian. Lin Xian again. He was in the limelight again. Damn it. Why didn't he think of it? The law of creation. He, Duan Ling Zhao, also had one. He had exchanged it from the system store. But now, even if he took it out, the limelight would be Lin Xian's. Instead, it would expose the fact that he had the law of creation to Lin Xian. Damn it! Lu Qingzhu's mouth was slightly open as she stood beside Lin Xian. This person, was he a monster? Wait a minute. Is the Mu group still a junkie? This was too exaggerated. Genius. He was really a genius. Instead, for a moment, everyone had forgotten the simplest and most crude thing. So many people had forgotten. Brother, do you still have this rocket launcher? Give me one. Lin Xian threw him a rocket launcher. F***CK. This is exciting. It was originally a situation where one was more dispirited and worried. But because of Lin Xian's move, it instantly made everyone interested, excited, and motivated. One by one, they even bloomed with smiles. It was like F***King playing a game. In such a situation, it was unrealistic to point a gun at people. Even if you were a soldier, in this era, you would not have the opportunity to fight with the enemy. Even if you did, you would be afraid because the enemy also had a gun. But in this place, although there were many opponents, they were all armed with weapons. As long as they did not get close, they were invincible. This was simply a bunch of impudent people. It was too satisfying. What a pity. It would be even more exciting if I had an unlimited ammo plug-in. It wouldn't be so exciting if I had to change bullets after a while. Lin Xian coughed dryly and lit a cigarette. Did no one realize that he had unlimited ammo? You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.